What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the Ghost with the Most, Ghost Rider 730. Today, we bringing you another one of my podcasts. It's with my homeboys rocking out, Mr. 100. He's in the building with me right now. Today's video, and let me stretch out, guys, because we watched EA Play Live 2020 reveal event. Hold on, let me get this out the back, off the back. Hold on 1 second. 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what you think about the event, the EA Play Live 2020 reveal event?
Oh man. Like I go in there with even kill, but what I thought about it was boring. But they always been boring. If you go to the events, if it was at E3 and stuff like that, they're like a setup for everyone else. So I like the Star Wars game. Um, a lot of people like because everything's gonna go cross-play mostly, even with the Switch. Um, it wasn't nothing like that. Boom, like you know. Um, I know a lot of stuff probably gonna get showed at Microsoft event next month, like your Maddens and stuff like that. Held off for it, but um, it was pretty much boring.
Yeah,
But was I expecting that? Only thing I was hearing people expected was expecting like at least they throw something since it wasn't on E3 this year. Throw something out there for
yeah.
us to see something, and it wasn't that at something.
It
And that's
wasn't
what they
that
wanted.
special something, right, to get you
Yeah.
hype, getting you to want, waiting for that 2020. And my honest opinion, the show for me wasn't too great. It wasn't like gonna get me really, really hype. I did like Apex Legends. You understand, and my man Cyberwolf, he plays that a lot. So I did play a little bit of how can I explain it? Apex Legends before, so I did try it out. It's a good game, but to be honest with you, like the rest of the show was kind of to me a little bit lackluster. You understand? Like I I liked it, Apex Legends, but then again they came out with Sims. Now my
Mhm.
wife likes Sims and her mom's like Sims, but as for your boy Ghost, I ain't into Sims. You understand? That's not my cup of tea. What do you think about Sims?
Nah, I don't play. I mean, my brother and his wife played it, but I mean, thing about it was they were just showing that it was coming out. I think it was coming out on the Switch. That's all it was showing. It's like to me, that show was more like, hey, we're gonna put games on Switch and we're gonna put games on Steam. That to me, that's what it was all about to me.
They did have
Apex the season 5 because my son I was watching with my son, and I'm like, you look at the new. He said, man, season 5 already out. I've been playing it. That's why I was up the last 2 damn nights. I said, oh, so that's the new fight, that's the new girl. Only thing they show, I guess, it's gonna be a new, I guess, like a new battle that they can do. But he was like, I'm really interested in that right now. But it wasn't like like
it
that.
was,
Oh, I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
Star Wars look cool. This is Star Wars is gonna be that Star Wars is probably gonna be the first time I'm not buying that Star Wars on console.
mhm.
Um, I'll be buying it in VR. Because I think I'll get a better experience out of it.
Better experience in VR, right? I don't
Yeah.
have VR, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna buy the Star Wars Squadrons. I'm definitely
Mhm.
gonna buy that game just to have it and show support, and try it out for a little while. It's not my cup of tea, like flying jets and stuff like that, going crazy too much. I'm not gonna lie, but I am gonna show love to the developers, and I'm gonna buy it. It looked like a good Star Wars game. You get the right amount, the right people getting down with you. You could have some fun with that.
Yeah, and it's cross play, so I can still be on Xbox Live and be on my Oculus at the same time. I just got to put my headsets on.
Yeah, you right.
My headset fits right on top of my Oculus, so I can still be in there and We can go log in to Origin, and we can all log in. Only thing about it, I just be on Oculus and they be on Xbox. And then if it's, I think they probably will give you. They should give you 10 hours for free if you got access. That's what they usually do.
Yeah, with the
So
EA access, I could
yeah.
see like definitely bring what's going on, Hebot, but definitely them
What's up? What's up?
to show us kind of like certain games going to Steam.
Yeah.
There was
Well,
certain
they
games.
want to sell to Steam now because they didn't like have their games off of Steam so long, and they saw somebody came in and saw how much people will buy them games on Steam. Even though people are taking their games off of Steam because of a certain matter, you know, gonna talk about it, but it's a certain matter. A lot of indies are taking their games off of Steam. But it's that's what they have to push. Like, okay, I'm gonna be pushing our games. Like what they said, we got 5 games come out, but it's not no brand new game. Like they're coming out. It's like it's games, and then oh yeah, we got mod support. It's like they're trying to win that community because they want some money. EA is about the money, about the
Yeah,
almighty dollar.
hmm, yeah. I was just when I seen it, I wasn't really blown away. But I ain't seen nothing really too that was like too next gen. Like to me, it didn't feel
Well,
like
none of that stuff they showed next gen because they
yeah,
probably gonna wait to someone else. I liked it they showed the demo where they were showing new this gen and next gen.
yeah.
Even when they were showing the dude with the eyes and the combinations, I think the battlefield and the
That was dope.
levolution and all that stuff. I think that's why I was like, that's what they usually set up. So I believe Microsoft say, hey, like they usually do when they do got marketing on certain stuff. Like, hey, can we show it on our show, and y'all can just announce it? You know what I'm saying? And then can we bust it out on our show and y'all talk about it? I mean, shoot you some extra bread. I think that's what happened.
Okay. So he about what do you think about? We just touched up on a little bit. What do you think about Apex Legends?
He backed out.
Oh, Bob backed out.
You know what up with you, Hollywood?
All right, what up? Yeah, Hollywood. What's up, bro? Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, bot. So, what do you think about Apex Legends?
Well, I'm not a big fan of none of those multiplayer games like that. I mean, a lot of people say that it plays awesome, that it's a whole lot of fun. Master Chief has invited me countless times, and either I don't have the time when he does ask me, or I'm busy or whatever, or I just playing something else. I really have to try it, like with you guys, for example, like with my friends, to see how it is, because I always hear that it's fun. I mean, I
It's
guess
fun.
It's a
I
slow
guess
pace. It's a slow pace Titanfall without the wall jumping.
right, right, right. But I keep hearing saying, "Oh, it's fun, it's fun." Just like
It's
I
fun,
keep
but
hearing people talking about Warzone all the time too now. Like, oh, I love
now
Call of Duty
Warzone's the shit.
Warzone.
To me, I like Warzone.
So
I like Apex too. I can't lie because I was playing Apex with Cyberwolf. Cyberwolf getting in. I watched his little streams and stuff like that. But the game Apex Legends is dope. It's not really trash. You just gotta
right,
hold it down, kill and like hide and take your time
right,
on a
right.
lot of things.
Well, look, I'm gonna give you my
You
honest
run out there going
opinion.
crazy, you're gonna die, bro. Trust me.
Right, right. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. Those multiplayer games are always good to have. So when you want to have those parties, and so we can play together, like us, chill in a chat and a party, so we don't have to concentrate on like a single player game. Those are always good to have. But I'm kind of like a little let down so far because we haven't seen a lot of like newer games based on action or like new IPs. We haven't really seen a lot yet, like the way they did with Project Athia coming out, or Athia on that Sony show, like something like that. We haven't seen a lot of stuff like that. That really kind of shows off what's going on with next gen and what we have to look forward to. Like the other game, Retractual, from from the developers that did Matterfalls and the Dead Nation. And I think it's because it's just the situation with the COVID and everything that they had to be away from the office. It slowed down the process big time because these people work day in, day out from the beginning of the morning, a lot of times till 10, 9 o'clock at night. They literally spend days, hours upon hours in there giving each other feedback. We got to fix this. What do you think about this? Playing and playing and playing until they try to get things right and polished. And right now they're doing it off home, you know. And when you're home, let's be real, you're not gonna be able to dedicate as much because you there with your family,
It depends. Like I
you
know
know.
some people like I work from home. I like myself in my office.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
like myself in.
in your case, Andre, for example, right? You most of the time are by yourself, right? Like you're singled out, you're by yourself.
No, I got
You
the
don't
kids
really,
here now.
right? I know. But I'm saying a lot of times, you like. I think for people that are
Well,
work from home that are
yeah,
signal, like, go
but see,
ahead.
I juggle two different things. I juggle my home business and I juggle that.
Right,
So thing
right.
about it is, it's ways you can do. Trust me, it's ways. Like I can go look. I can go look. I can go look at my. I can go look at my desktop for my computer right now. That my desktop is at my job. I can work on and I can
Hmm.
work on anything. Grab anything off of any server.
Remotely.
I
Yeah,
can work.
yeah. Hmm.
I can sit there and do everything I can. If I need to talk to somebody, you can get yourself on the phone, just like you do.
Right,
Instead of
right.
you walking in the office talking to next door, you can do that. If
Hmm.
we need to come together once a day and to say let's get on a Zoom call or whatever, instead to say okay, and you show what you can do. It's ways that I can say hey, I'm working on this and this bottlenecking me. Can somebody help me fix this?
Right, right. Well, I
You
mean,
can do it from home.
right.
You know,
But
I just don't
what?
like that people that kind of use. To me is you actually get more productivity because when you at the office, sometime man, you don't like that boss. You ain't got nobody down your throat. Only thing you
Yeah,
might have
yeah,
seen is
yeah.
an enemy.
That part I could definitely agree. What I'm saying is, I think it depends also on the situation with certain people. Like if it's somebody like it was me that we live in a smaller area, but it's so many people, so much things going on. It'll be a lot harder to concentrate on certain things. But again, when if you're alone, you're single, like you said, you don't live by yourself. You don't have your boss down your throat, and you don't have people that maybe you don't really like, but you work with them, so you deal with them. That also can make the whole world of a difference in certain cases. So I agree with you. I don't think me or you are wrong. I just think it depends on the situation, you know, on certain scenarios, certain people. But I agree. I think it works both. It could work in favor in both ways. I'm thinking about it like from my point of view. Like if I had to do it from home, it'd be hard because if I was an inside worker, because you know, I have such a big family, I'm always needed so much, and I barely have any peace to myself or quiet time, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Like I feel you. Like I got attorneys that feels the same way like you. Like they at least want to come in the office 2 times a week.
Hmm.
And usually
Hmm.
they want to know when I'm there because when I'm there, stuff gonna get done. You don't have to worry about too much. Like they ask me something or something like that. I ain't gonna beat around the bush.
Right, 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 right.
Ain't gonna be around the bush. Like, can you help me with this and help me with that? I'm like, okay. Um, they like I want to get out the house because the kids is around this and that. They have
Yeah,
offices, but then a lot of them. I said, "What you doing during the week?" He said, "Well, he says now since like in California where you can go sit down, outside and stuff like that with a mask." He said, "Man, I go sit outside or Starbucks or something." Or
yeah,
he
yeah.
said, "I got my phone," and he said, "You taught me how I didn't never know my phone had hotspot on it." So he said, "I'll go sit at the park and I work from the park."
Right, right.
Just to get
That's
away
what I'm
from the
saying.
kids for
So,
several, because he said I got the in-laws. Like I said, I feel what you said, you got a
hmm,
big family, but he said I still got a job to do too.
yeah,
And
absolutely. The job doesn't stop. Exactly. But you have a good point too, though, because some people are like, hell, no, I like being home and away from the boss if you don't really like them, or some people you work with. So you had a point. It's true. But I think because of the situation being so different, and they've never really been in that position before, I think that's why it's making the process a little bit slower, maybe. Not necessarily that they won't meet their quotas, but that it's a little bit slower, and that's why they're not really showing nothing yet. Or like I think you were talking about before I came in, they're trying to save certain things for certain shows, like maybe the Microsoft show, for example, because they have like a deal, and they kind of just want to show off the game in the best format or the best way on the console. You know, the Xbox Series
but
X.
see, that's what usually EA Play does. If people
Hmm.
that's what me and One Way Drive we was talking about. I had jumped on this podcast late.
Yeah,
Um, I was trying to explain. I said because some people don't think they think EA Play was just everybody just go kicking. No, they have an event, but they do this
yeah, yeah.
every year.
Hmm.
Remember they
Hmm.
did that with Battlefield. The second Battlefield came out, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
showed
I
the
remember
girl
when
and
you
all
guys
that.
put it
They
up in
didn't show.
E3
They didn't
last
show
year.
no Madden. They didn't show
Hmm.
nothing. They
Yeah, I
they told
remember.
you, well, if you want to see more of this game, you're gonna see at the PlayStation event. You want to see more of Madden, you can see it at the Xbox event.
Yeah, yeah,
They're just a setup.
yeah. Plus, it's
So
more
they want,
personal when you're there because I remember when you guys put up when you were at the EA Play over there in person. I remember when you guys
yeah,
put videos up.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
so it's nothing but a setup. Like you, if you don't, you go to EA Play, you're not gonna 10 you're not gonna play Madden.
Right, right,
You're gonna it's there, but it's so line is so long. It's
right.
crazy. But if
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
to a Microsoft event, they got more boosts where yeah, you have a chance to play it. You get a
And you
chance to
get a
play
chance to
people.
play it. Right,
And it's
right,
not that many. And thinking about it, Microsoft does something different. They don't let a shitload of people in all at
right,
one time.
right. It's a certain amount of people. Right,
Yeah,
right.
saying they do
But I
it.
think it's good because it keeps order for chaos. Like that
Uh-huh.
way, it gives people, like you said, it gives people opportunities to actually put their hands and play on the games. When you don't have that control and they get too chaotic, forget it. Then you'll be there for hours and you won't even get to touch it. Yeah, yeah.
It
So
was
it makes
people like the
sense.
last EA play. We didn't even go because we get there. It's a line around 5 blocks. And the
Damn.
only
Right.
reason why it's that way, and it's hot as hell that day. This is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
Saturday. It's hot as hell. It went 5 blocks straight. We looked at it and we all
Right.
looked at each other. I said, "You want to go down to Santa Monica? I got a little spot we can go hang out before we go party tonight." We saw that line so
Hmm.
long, but it's free. That's the thing about it. If it wasn't
Right.
free, you
Right.
didn't have
Right.
to buy no ticket. Only thing you got to do is on your phone or something and just hit it and print out the ticket. And the kids
Right.
can go.
Um,
So, I mean, I think Apex looks dope. I mean, the show itself just looked like it was giving you previews. They really haven't not going to go all in. I did like the segment with the Origins because they showed that game. That game looks actually pretty dope. It looks very Alice in Wonderland with a mixture of Coraline,
Hmm.
and it looked high quality, even though it had like that style of like an animation, like kind of like The Nightmare Before Christmas. But the
that looked
look of
cool.
it
Yeah, it
but the
did.
look of it looks high quality. You see what I'm trying to say? Like it looks like Psychonauts. It looks like Ratchet. It has a very high quality look to it. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
And I think that's what we're gonna get coming into this generation. I think we're gonna see more of that with those kiddie style games. Cause like Grounded, everybody keeps saying it looks gorgeous. You know, that looks beautiful. Even though it has like that more Disney anime look and style. You see what I'm saying? And that means that they're just utilizing the power of the console, even though they're going with that more artistic style of like that kiddier style look, or maybe an animation or Pixar style, which is dope. But they look good. They looked impressive.
I
But
mean, that
go
game
ahead.
looked better than what they showed on PlayStation's event.
Well, I mean, it looks good. It looks like
It looked better
it
than them
looks good. It
cartoony
looks good.
games than
And then they
Volcano,
got
than
they got
Eating
my man.
Strawberries.
They got my man that curses people out that did the Way Out, which was a really good game. It was a sleeper. He's working on a new game. He was trying to preview it, which is cool. I'm looking forward to it because so far both games he made are really good games, and I think he's going with the same style again, where you can control both of the characters at the same time in the game, which is dope. Um, they show a little bit real of the sports stuff of what they're working on and what they're trying to aim for, and what was the other thing? Oh, I like the way it looked where they
They
showed that
got.
little preview of the
Um,
battlefield, the
what do you
preview of
think
the
about
battlefield.
Sims and all that? Matter of fact, when I just all right, we're gonna do it like this. Bot, just talk about everything that you have to talk about what you seen. We're gonna
Mhm.
do it like that. Because instead
Well,
of me
this
just going through
the
everything like
games.
that,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
just
got you.
yeah.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't know you were doing it like that. My bad, Pine.
no
I
no
didn't
no
even know.
no. Just
The
break it down like that
Sims.
because I'm gonna do the same thing as because it was a small event anyway. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, that's what I'm
it
saying. It
wasn't
was like really short. It
yeah.
wasn't a lot that was shown. As far as the Sims, well, I mean, I don't like the Sims. That's the one that kind of started all that. Like that stuff, like Animal Crossing and
Hmm.
PlayStation Home.
Yep.
PlayStation Home, where they gather together like in a lobby and just hang out with these avatars, and if they want to do retarded stuff, motherfuckers want to go in there dressed like girls and act crazy. They express themselves through that virtual lobby is what I call it.
That's how they
You
are.
go to a little, you go to a little store. You create your own house. Oh look, my house I'm gonna paint it pink. It's so cute. That for me is like recreational stuff. That's for people that like that stuff. I'll never play it because I don't.
Yeah,
I live my life
I
every day.
understand.
My life is recreational enough. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about games like that. For me, that's not relaxing. It's not relaxing. But
Yeah,
for there's people out there that obviously enjoy it, love it. They love doing that virtual reality type stuff. You know, of that. Oh, I'm gonna play. I want to play out a secret life or a second life through this game, and they like doing that. You know, and that's more power to them. I can't hate. You know, it's good that they're getting in their sims like always. You know, it's like the people that like the dancing games. You can't like video games is for everybody. That's what makes it unique, man. If you don't like something, you got something else to pick from, and you stick with what you like. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it unique. So I can't sit there
yeah, you're
and I
right.
can't just sit there and hate. I gotta get gas.
Video
I
games is
can't. I
like
can't.
it's not for everybody. Like everybody's gonna
Yeah,
have
like
a
every
certain type
genre
of
is
style.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's gonna have certain type of games they like. It's
yeah,
hard. It's
every
very
genre is
hard
the
to please
same.
everybody. You understand? Like that's it's gonna be very hard to like please a lot of different type of
Hmm.
gamers. And
Well,
for
and then
me,
there's a lot of genres too. Those.
yeah, for me, I like the Apex
You know.
Legends. The ones I did like, I liked Apex Legends, and I liked the Star Wars Squad
Oh, that's what I was gonna tell you
drone.
about the Star Wars. That
Yeah, I liked it.
Star
That
Wars,
it was alright.
it's all right, but
Who
I'm
said?
mad that I'm mad that it's not. I'm mad that they don't show third person perspective. That it's only first person from the cockpit. You know what I'm saying? Because I was kind of vibing. I thought it was gonna be like the next Rogue Squadron. You know what I'm saying? Like on the 64.
Yeah,
Because that game I really enjoyed it, and a lot of people enjoyed it. You know, they really liked it a lot. So, I thought it was gonna be more like that, but it's more in the cockpit view. So it's like the old Star Wars arcade
back in
game
the
from
day.
back in the day.
Yeah,
And I mean, it looks beautiful, yeah,
it looked
but
good.
it just I don't know. I mean,
It didn't
I know
catch
it's
you.
a, I know it's like a $30 game, maybe a $40, but it didn't really appeal to me. But maybe because of the story, since it's after Return of the Jedi,
Yeah, that's what I
I
was gonna
might
say.
I might appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I'll be honest with you, it's not a game that I'll be like, I gotta get it day one. Even though it's cool that they put crossplay and all that. And that seems to be the new initiative since now they saw Microsoft did it and it worked. And now people with Fortnite did it and it worked. And people with Warzone and all that. So now everybody wanna jump in the bandwagon. Yeah, yeah, now it's dope to have crossplay. You know what I mean?
mm,
Um so it seems like that's the initiative. Now I don't know how Apex is gonna run on no Switch, since they announced it for the Switch. That's gonna be retarded. I see that shit being like 520p at 60 frames, because that shit gonna I don't think they'll handle it, but who knows? Who knows? Especially to their online services. Their shit is not really
yeah,
that well structured. And then also, the battlefield stuff, they show the preview stuff, like the way they're trying to aim for character models and stuff like that. That
yeah,
looked beautiful. That looked gorgeous. That looked really nice. So I don't know. I just think we're not really gonna get the full fledged picture until maybe Microsoft show or after next year. Because a lot of stuff ain't even coming out this year. This year is real dry as far as a lot of things that we're
that's
supposed to get.
yeah.
What is that?
What's up, Sega man?
Picture
Hey,
issue.
what's up, everybody?
Hey, how you
Hey,
doing?
Sega
Second
Man.
man.
What's up, Doc Avot?
What's up, Abby? How are you?
What's up, man?
Yep. Sega man, what's going on, my brother? What do you think about the? Did you see the EA playthrough, the show?
I, you know what, my brother, I didn't get to see all that, man.
It
Is
was
it was it on earlier?
yeah, it was on like an hour and or maybe an hour or 2 hours already ago, or
No,
hour ago.
I didn't catch it, man.
Yeah, it was all right show. It's not like the best show. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
say like it's not for everybody. Like, but it was something like they did. There was if you're a gamer, you gotta enjoy it anyway because it's games. They showed cartoony games. You know how the Sony logic is. It has to be realistic. So you can't enjoy games like that nowadays. It has to be
Yeah, I know.
games like The Last of Us. Or we're gonna touch up on The Last of Us.
Oh boy.
I'm saving that for before
Oh
we go
boy.
and all that because I want to tear the new asshole. Excuse my. Oh, I forgot. Neil Druckmann's doing that in the video game. But
Oh
shots fired.
shit.
But anyway,
Oh shit.
Sega man, yo. But I'm just saying, man. Yo, it's good to see you here, Sega man. Man, it's good to have you on the podcast
Welcome.
with us, man.
That's
Rocking
right.
out.
Yeah, I caught that link, man.
Yeah, You know. Oh man. But let me tell you like this, but I felt
Yo,
kind of lackluster with this show right now, and maybe look, Hunter brought it up too. That coming up for the maybe July they're gonna show something for for Xbox maybe. They're gonna show Madden probably, and maybe another one or two games, which I would love to see. So right now, for certain games that they show, like The Sims, they show Rocket Arena, guys. You seen that Rocket Arena?
yes,
Was
another
all right.
That's a rip
multiplayer
off
game.
of Paladins. That's a rip
Yes,
off of
What's up,
Paladins
100?
with
Overwatch.
I
show
didn't
with
hear you in here, bro.
yeah. And
Yeah,
that's a rip off of three games. And it's
yes,
free to
Hmm.
play.
Straight to play, yeah.
and you could say, man, Bleeding Edge, because
Yeah, that's
Overwatch
what I
is
said.
just
It's
like
rip off
that.
of Bleeding Edge, Paladins, and what's Overwatch.
Yes, Overwatch is the classic though, because Overwatch kicked everybody's ass. Just put it that way. Overwatch is the shit. I ain't gonna lie. My favorite guy in Overwatch is Reaper. Die, die, die. Spins around shooting, but that's just me. Your boy Ghost, when he gets in the mood and he's playing, I have to be Reaper. I like going around jumping in the middle of people and taking them out. But
Reaper got a nice ass design, dude. He fucking
what?
looks
I
dope.
like that. That's my dude.
He looks dope. He has a human design too, like his human form.
Mhm.
But his costume form, he look fire.
They also had the game Skate, and that's why I said it's kind of
Oh yeah,
lackluster.
they
The
announced a
guy
new
made it seem
skate,
like,
Mega Man.
yes, we got
What is
Skate.
that?
I'm not really into Skate.
They re-announced a new skate, but that's only because they see all the, you know, accolades that we're getting with Sessions and Tony Hawk Remastered and that other game. That's why they EA's like EA always does that when something is in the popular zone. They want to capitalize. Like now
Yeah,
we got to do the same thing.
Yeah,
We got to do the same thing. They always do that every time. Them
another skate,
Ubisoft,
man.
Actor. Yeah,
yeah.
they're
They
bringing
brought out
skate
Skate.
back.
They're bringing Skate back,
Mhm.
buddy.
Damn, don't we have enough?
Oh my,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I guess I
Yo,
don't know,
Tony
I ain't
Hawk
man.
gonna
was out.
lie. Going into this generation so far, it's like I'm excited to see what Microsoft. Matter of fact, guys, this show by EA was so trash. Let's talk about something else. let's just stop with the EA talk, guys, and we're gonna talk about what are your
Hey,
thoughts.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost, I got to give it out. I got to give it out to 100 and Hebot because their last videos they was killing it, man. I mean, I watched them a couple. I mean, they was killing. I was cracking up. Hebot's video, the last video, man. Hebot was grinning in that video, getting on them dudes. I was cracking up, bro.
Oh
I
He
was
was
just
just,
trying. You know how I do. I try to
man. He
be
was telling the truth,
as
man. Him,
it is
him and
true.
Hunter.
They
Hunter,
gonna speak
man.
the truth, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. All right, we going no holds bars here. We gonna keep it real. What do you think about that Spider Man? Let's do this. Well, I should have started the show like this,
Miles
man. The show
Morales.
right here, Miles Morales. Let's break it down, guys. Y'all guys gonna be in here for a nice little treat because we're about to tear this shit a new asshole. Thank you for stopping by, whoever's rocking out with us right now. Yo, Bot, what do you think about Miles Morales, the Spider Man? Sega
us
Man,
is
you got after him.
us
All right.
is the it's the best. It's the best. It's the best DLC game ever made, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. These dudes think we're really dumb, and they treat people in the community because they know the Sony fans just eat it up. They know a lot of them just eat it up. They fall for it because there's a lot of casuals on the Sony side.
Yeah,
And what I mean by casuals, I'm not trying to insult them saying that they're not gamers. I mean like there's a lot of like how when your friend just buys a PlayStation because it's popular or because his friend got it and he just bought it to have one. That's what I mean by casuals. So like Tyrone Magnus, for example. Cool cat, love his content, funny as fuck, ain't keep it real, but he don't know gaming. He don't know about video games, right? Just he plays. He said that he barely plays, and he played really strong back. I think it was in 360 era for a little bit. He talks about it, but he automatically assumed and thought, oh, there's a brand new game, the sequel to Spider-Man. And I've seen a lot of people in the figure community that love Marvel that only play Spider-Man because they like Marvel as comic book brand or the Marvel movies or and collect the Marvel toys through Marvel Legends, right? For example, automatically, oh yeah, the sequel, yeah, it's gonna be fire because it's representation with Miles Morales. You know, he's a black Puerto Rican, and they never done that before, which is cool. I like the idea. That's cool. But they introduced him in the game. Obviously, they set it up as an expansion for the story in the PS4 version, right, of the game. But Sony came out 6 o'clock in the morning talking about, yeah, we got to clarify. This is just a story expansion for the PS4 game that we're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
all over again as a remaster, sub to you on PS5, right? And after they did that, articles started coming out everywhere. You know, everywhere, every gaming site media you could possibly think of, IGN, Kotaku, Game Report, Giant Bomb, whatever, all of it, because they had to clarify because they were running with it because they should have been, you know, when they showed it in the show, all they said was Miles Morales Spider-Man, right? And after the show was over, they didn't have like a walkthrough or a featurette talking about, yeah, well, this is the idea. This is its own standalone game, so we want this to be like this to be like that. No, they didn't do none of that, right?
Sleep QI.
Meanwhile, then you see 3 days later, right? They come out, oh yeah, no, or that same day after the next day, right? Sony's the ones that own them, right? Sony themselves, right? Owns them and goes, oh no, this is a expansion DLC. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock, you see Insomniac on their Twitter post. Oh no, we want to clarify this is actually a standalone DLC, a standalone game. It's not going to be as big as other games. It's probably a little bit more than it's almost like half of what we got for the regular Spider-Man, or a little bit less. It's in the same area, same map, but they're all doing story, different missions, and different outtakes, right? So it's going to be basically like a Lost Legacy that's about 7 or 8 hours, right? And if you want to look for all the achievements and stuff like that, it's like 10 hours, right? Which that don't count because that's just thrown in there as an extra bonus. That's not really content, you know what I mean? That's just achievement hunting or trophy hunting, whatever. And you know what I'm saying. But if you play a game like through the linear aspect, the way it was designed, where you play the story, and you keep the path, and you see the CG cutscenes, it's probably about 7 hours. On the other side, okay, no problem. So you remember when we did the show after the the Sony show that we
Yeah,
did our show. What did I tell you? Remember, I was like, yo, they're gonna treat this like a standalone, like they did with Lost Legacy and like they did with Second Sight with Infamous. Remember I told you? And then I was like, because there's no way in hell that's a new game, because they haven't talked about any specifics about the details of you know what I'm saying, of a sequel or anything like that. Plus, they did the Spider-Verse animation, which they have the rights to that universe for the multiverse. That's why they used Spider-Man, and they had all those other characters. Cash repower, full. You understand, like they did with the pig. What's his name? Um. Oh Jesus, what's his name? Hello.
what? The pig for what?
In the game, in the Spider-Man, in the
You mean
Spider-Man movie, the multiverse.
the
The
multiverse?
one with Miles Morales. You know how they put that pig character,
Well, it's
Porky,
Pig
whatever.
Spider-Man, but I don't know his name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So they have the rights to do all that. So I mean, it's dope that they're doing another side of that multiverse, but we all know that it's a DLC. And then now they're trying to sell it like it's a standalone game, And then
yeah, but
you
these
see
PlayStation guys got to make it up.
today,
It's a
no,
real game.
today they did a video with two guys. Oh yeah, this is standalone, like trying to break it down, like what they were trying to do, what they've been working on since they finished the game, and how they wanted this to be its own standalone game. But you could clearly see it's bullshit. It's so much bullshit that it's
Sleep
not on
double
Marvel's
IQ.
channel. It's not on Marvel's channel. It's not on DC. I mean, it's not on Sony's channel, and it's not on Insomniac's page. They
Mm.
just threw it out on YouTube real quick. It's not even uploaded none of the channels. So they did it real quick because they're just trying to sell the BS. You know what I'm saying? So now people are hyping it up, and they're touting a DLC, standalone DLC that they're trying to act like a standalone game as a launch title
Yeah, but still,
for brand new hardware, my dude.
that's
It's
what I'm trying to
crazy.
say.
I never
It's
seen some
smoke and
dog
mirrors,
shit like
brother.
that before in my life, ever. I ain't never seen that dog shit before.
So what do you think about it, Sega man? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, man, I think it's cool that they put the Miles Morales character in there, but for that DLC, it's not worth no $60. It's $60, right?
Well, they haven't said the price, but I'm thinking it's gonna be like 40. They're gonna try to do like Lost Legacy.
But it's still taking money, man. I'm
Yeah.
I'll wait my turn.
I mean,
Like,
Ghost, I mean, it's I don't know, man. They should have, in my opinion, they should have been done that already. You know what I mean? They need to have more, people of color in their games, because if you think about it, if you look back into Sony's old games and stuff like that, I've never really seen any kind of, any other kind of people of color in their games.
Not a
You know what
lot.
I mean?
Oh,
So
you're right about
no, I can't even remember one. You know what I mean? Not really. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't think it's if that's gonna be like that. That should be like, I don't know, $20, $15. I mean, it shouldn't be more than 60, because it's just a DLC. You know what I mean? That basically it's still the same game, right? And it's just with Miles Morales, so it's not a new Spider-Man game.
They gotta eat
You
that
know
up.
what I mean?
All right, I'm gonna wait. They're gonna eat that up.
So that's what I, think really about it. I just think for that DLC, hopefully it don't come in and at a like a $60 price range, or
If it
anything like that. But go
if it
ahead.
does, if it does, man, we need to expose that quick because
uh,
this is why I say this is like double dipping. And usually we tell these ponies like they getting butt plugged. I'm just gonna put it
well,
like
they're
that. I don't
still
want to
double
curse.
dipping, Ghost. Real
Yes,
quick,
they
they're still
are.
double dipping because they're remastering. They already said they're
Yes.
remastering Spider-Man
Yeah,
PS4.
Not only that, they remastering Grand Theft Auto. That is double dipping. They they
Well,
they they they
that's the
busting their
third time
cheeks.
Rockstar do that.
These
Rockstar doing
PlayStation
that.
dudes are
Yeah,
getting
but
their
yeah,
cheeks
Xbox getting the
busted.
same. It's free, and Xbox getting the same thing.
Yeah,
Right, right, right. They're just getting it, I think, first or
No,
free
they
or
don't
like
get
a
it first.
multiplayer,
Nope, it come
something
out
like
day
that.
one, day one.
okay.
So what they're getting, they were supposed to be getting something first
Only
on
thing
it.
they get is if you got PlayStation 4 Plus, I think you can get Grand Theft Auto for free until
Okay,
a
all
certain
right.
time.
Okay, okay. There's
But
like a
Aaron
little
Aaron
detail
Aaron
there.
Greenberg came out soon as that came out and said no. It's coming. They said, "Our congratulations to our good friends at Sony, but Grand Theft Auto 5 will have the same. Will have
mhm,
the same upgrades
yep,
and will run
yep,
better on the Series X."
You see
mhm,
the
Mm.
marketing things that Sony was doing, the greasiness that Sony was doing. Like we said before, you see how Aaron Greenberg and them are trying to nip things in the butt because this is what Sony will do. They'll say like the game is exclusive for their content when it's coming out on Xbox too. So when you're going to buy a machine, you got people in GameStop that'll tell you no, get a
Well,
PlayStation. It got this content. That's not coming to that's
well,
not
now,
coming to use it.
now that you mentioned GameStop, real quick, because before I forget this, and I don't mean to cut none of you boys off. I went into GameStop today to pick up like a figure, right? That they had, and they already have how they do those cross sale videos that they play as you're in the store
Hmm.
talking about what's coming out, right? They already had the one dude talking about the PS5 reveal, what it looked like, and they specifically said, "Oh, Spider-Man Miles Morales, the sequel to Spider-Man PS4." They specifically said that in the video, the one guy,
really?
and then he talked about
Yes, they be
yeah,
lying
yeah,
about
and then he talked about how Miles Morales, I mean the Ratchet and Clank should be coming out as a launch title, and that next year we're getting Horizon Zero Dawn. When none of those games had dates, none of them. They didn't even say a year. They just said coming soon. They didn't even say none of that, right? That playground was a game. When that's a demo built in the console to let you see the features of what the console can do, right? What the controller can do and the features in the console. 100 knows what I'm talking about. When you put on the PS4, they have one in there for the PS4. and then it would let you do like the 6-axis stuff. You would do little things within the demo that let you use the feature, so you see how it works and how it works in the controller. You understand?
Yeah.
And they're selling it like it's like it's a game, and that's how we said it in the advertisement on that video. I was like, see, there you go. That's why GameStop is where they are, because they do that bullshit. They
You
do
gotta
that
understand
Sony
this. I
ass
done
shit.
had debates with the managers in there that I know,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
Oh
telling
yeah.
you, everything is straight
Mm-hmm.
bias with them. They'll sell you
Mm-hmm.
the before they give you an Xbox. They ask you this: "You want it on PlayStation? How do you know I'm a PlayStation gamer?"
They just assume, right,
They
right.
assume it. So it's like I
They
had
get perks.
seen.
They get perks. They won't tell you.
Oh
'Cause
yeah, of course they
When I
do.
used to work for Sears, it was when I was a manager, especially in that wasn't my department. But certain parts of the day I have to be like the man, like the store manager. We switch off, and somebody
Mm-hmm.
have an argument, and two people got an argument because they wanted a sell a certain washing machine, a Whirlpool washing machine.
Yeah.
This new guy came in and he sold it, but the older guy got mad and he said, "Well," the lady was like, "What's the difference between this and that?" And the dude straight told him like he get more commission off selling you this Whirlpool than this Panasonic one, because the company will say if you sell this. When I was at Lowe's, if you sold a certain washing machine,
Yes.
um, you'll get
Mhm.
you'll get 250 tax free
Right.
Mhm.
in your check.
Mm-hmm.
So stick if you
Mm-hmm.
sell two of them bad, that's $500.
Right. Mm-hmm. As a bonus.
Also,
So Sony can make it do like, hey, if you go sell Sony games, this and that, we'll give you a different perk. We'll give you this. If you sell 10 games, we'll give you a
Sometimes
PlayStation.
sometimes they even offer them like special editions of certain
Uh
games.
huh.
Because my boy Manny, I told you that he was a district manager, and I have another friend of mine that his name was David, that was district manager in the Patterson store, and they both told me that they give them like the consoles with their initials on it. They don't. They gave them like when the PS4
they
came
get
out
everything
with
first.
their initials on it, like with their names on it, and they also gave them like certain console editions of not consoles game, like let's say Death Stranding, right? They get an edition that's not sold to the public. It's like a special edition just for them, and those are the type of perks that they get. So hundreds, right? And that's one of the reasons why they do that. But see, Sony needs to do that because Sony don't have stores to sell their products. If GameStop stopped existing, they're only gonna have Target and Walmart. Microsoft, they got their own stores. They sell their shit out of their own stores in the mall. You know what
Remember
I
the
mean?
game? Remember the game? It was a man. It came out. It was a PlayStation 2 game, I think, or if it was a PlayStation 3 game where it was like these giant colossus, like titans and stuff. You a
What
Chinese guy.
Sh-
It just came out not too long ago, like
Ego.
Shadow of the Colossus? You mean?
Shadow of the Colossus, right? When you
Right.
beat that game, Shadow of Colossus, when you go in and you get into things to Shadow of Colossus, you doing so much things that whatever you doing is gassing you. So when you beat the game, basically you taking over that person. That soul is leaving, and now it takes you. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mhm.
not like a
Mm-hmm.
good ending because the character. But anyway, long story short, I went into GameStop. That guy in GameStop when I was in Brooklyn
Mm-hmm.
was selling that game like it was a new IP, and I told him that was not a new IP. I said that's an
Right.
old
Right.
game, but he was gassing people saying it was a new IP. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand that. Like, how are you working in the gaming store and you don't even know this?
Right.
But
Right. Half of them don't.
it's the fanboyism that's in them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that messes up things. So when little Timmy goes to the store with his grandmother and asks, you got these PlayStation fanboys in there that's gonna tell him no. You can grab a PlayStation. It's got the better games. Now, little Timmy's not gonna know that you can get Gears, Halos, Forzas, Titanfalls. You can have got that. They only gonna mention, oh, Spider-Man. Oh, you seen God of War? That's all they
Yeah.
gonna
That's what they
mention.
do. That's what they
Well,
do,
it,
man.
it was like
Like
another
when I was
dude
in there,
today.
I had them tell me they had games before. We got a lot of games, but they wasn't before God of War came out, and before any of those the Spider Man came out. They was talking about they
Mm-hmm.
had the games, and I'm like, what are you talking about? They was trying to make it look like I was bugging, and they were bugging because they was talking about indies. Like this,
Right.
is what I don't understand. Like what
Well,
I
I saw another shit I saw today was the guy was asking questions about the Xbox Series X, right? This kid, right? And one of the sales dudes, he looked like a little Asian dude, and he was like, "Oh, Well, the PlayStation 5 is gonna have Spider-Man, Miles Morales, a new Ratchet, Horizon Zero Dawn 2. And so what about Xbox? Oh, yeah, Xbox doesn't really have any games, so that's why they have Game
What?
Pass. We don't know yet. We
That's what
don't
I'm
know yet.
saying.
He's like, we don't know what games they're gonna have
Oh,
because that's why they're
He
selling them on
said
Game
that
Pass.
shit.
Yeah, I was looking
yeah,
at him. I was
yeah,
like,
the
oh
fullest
my god. I'm like, and that's and Sega man, that is one of the reasons. And 100, he knows, Ghost knows why we always say you go to GameStop and even when you go to Target, these people sell the consoles for the companies.
Yes.
Like they
Yeah,
won't sell you an Xbox, but they'll sell you a Nintendo and a Sony PlayStation in a
Fast.
heartbeat.
yeah, they
They'll be like,
will.
"Yo, this shit is fire!" Like I was like, "What the fuck is this dude talking about?" I'm looking right at him like, "This nigga retarded." He was
Yes.
trying to tell him that Microsoft's Xbox Series X, the reason why we have Game Pass is that we don't have a lot of games, so you can play all the older games, and that's how they're launching the
That
console.
don't make sense.
I'm like,
See,
what
see,
the
I'm
fuck is this
see.
dude?
I'm gonna tell
I
you.
didn't
I'm
get
gonna tell
into it
you.
with him because I didn't want to get into an argument because they just opened and I just went to the store. I ain't gonna argue with this dude. Like, but I wanted to smack him. I don't say that shit. I was like, yo, this nigga dumb. He's
See, I'm
stupid.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you a story that happened to me
Hey,
when I was
Ghost.
working GameStop. When I used
Hey,
to work
y'all.
at
When I used
GameStop,
to
Yeah.
work at GameStop,
hey,
this was years back.
Oh,
They
you
darn,
would take us in. Yeah, yeah, it did. They would take us in the back room, where the systems are and games, and they had this chalkboard, and it said
Hmm.
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and
Hmm.
something else. And they said this is going to determine if you guys can stay employed with us. You have to
Right.
sell
A
a
certain
certain
amount.
amount of
I heard about that.
systems
Yeah.
to to possibly gain employment and to stay with GameStop, man. They
Wow.
made that like number one priority. We had to be
That's
out
why they
there.
push it then. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, they could
Yeah.
sell a PlayStation, Nintendo faster, and they know that.
Mm-hmm.
That works in their favors with the quarterlies, the numbers. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
you have to
Wow.
do that. Yeah, but he's right.
Hey, Chuck Master, that's Sega Man. He's joined us in the podcast today.
Yeah.
well, I play this. Hey,
Okay.
that's one thing I can't say.
Tuck in there.
I mean, because when I used to
Yeah.
work for when I used to work for GameStop, now that's one thing I can say about my boss.
You
He
know when
didn't play that
when
crap.
people
He
would
didn't
trade
play
in
that.
games too,
He didn't play that
y'all.
going down the middle
This
crap.
dude he brought in this kid. He bought in a ton of PlayStation 2 games, and I had to. They were training me how to do the trade. So I'm looking at the girl bringing in his games. Every
Damn.
game he brought in, man, it would say his trade on the screen. It would say 25 cents, 10 cents, 50 cents each game. So his trade didn't really end up being shit. You know what I mean? All this stuff he wanted to trade in just to get one game. And they would go
Right.
around and turn around and sell that game for like 10, 15, $20
Right. More. Right.
more. The game would be a
So
dollar in trade, right? But they turn around and I'd put a sticker on it for 10, 15.
can y'all hear
Right.
They
me?
were they were mad rich. That's how they got massively rich, man, by raping us, raping the people buying the games. I done seen guys going, and I know people that buy video games and would beat them like a day and 2 days, and then just to take it back so they could get their money back. You understand me?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And when they do
Yeah.
that, these people will be like, okay, they're
Yeah.
gonna give you $20 or maybe $15, right? Let's just say, and they
Yeah.
sell the game for $55 to $50 or 60, and you like
Mm-hmm.
how used? They'll say used on it, but you paying basically all over again for a new game. Like basically that game got sold for $65.
See, all
Now
right,
Mm-hmm.
you selling it for 50 something dollars. You making a profit. That's cash. That's not even going to the developers. That's going in their pockets.
Yep.
Now tell me who's really making the money.
oh, you know they're the one that's making the money. Shit, that's what they always do.
GameStop be killing it, boy. And I go
Yeah,
over there
man,
a lot.
see,
They
that's
I
one
had
thing
a
I
dude do
will
that to
give.
me.
got a plaque.
Hey, that's one thing I will give my
I had a dude do that to
Xbox.
me one time there. It was a new game. He was putting it in the case. I said, my nigga, I want the
Can you
one
hear
that
me?
has the saran wrap, the plastic on it, man. Not
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
You know
You're
what I
right.
mean? I don't want
Yeah, we
that,
get
man.
you,
It's
Chuck.
still
We get
new.
you, Chuck. I can hear you,
Hold
Chuck.
on, y'all. I'm gonna come in here in a minute.
Hold on, Chuck. I can hear you.
I don't know if
More
that.
like what I'm trying to say is this.
Honey, can
I
you hear
can't
each other?
hear him.
Yeah, I
I
can hear
can't
him.
hear him.
He can't hear him. That's why they.
Oh,
Now,
they can't hear each other.
Yeah, they can't hear each other.
now I can hear y'all. Now, but one thing I will give my boss, TJ, because when he used to work GameStop, he didn't play that mess. He'll go and then tell you straight up. Um,
I hear Tuck now. What's
Okay.
up, Big Tuck?
not much, man. See, that's one. I'm doing real good, man. Just take it easy. Now he didn't play that mess. I mean, he played everything straight down the middle. I mean, that's one thing I liked about him because it's like many times when him and his district manager, they got into it. And he told him, he said, our job is to sell video games and sell video game systems, not to be biased or nothing like that. So one guy, he was biased, and that's all he talked about was PS3, PS3. So he
Yep.
wanted to fire the damn guy. Guy didn't want to turn around and talk about anything else but the PS3, and he fired him. And he fired him because of that, and that was it. And then after that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went crazy for that one.
no,
That's sad, man. Somebody's job got.
because he just played straight down the middle. And that's one thing he liked about me. Even though I was an Xbox dude, I didn't hold anything against Sony because it's my job to sell. It's not my job. I mean, if you want a PlayStation, you want a PlayStation. If you want an Xbox,
Yep.
you want
Yep.
an Xbox. Now, if you're in between and you don't know which one to buy, that's my job to turn around and tell you which one I prefer and which one I think that you should get. But at the end of the day, it's all up on you. But you got some of
Mm-hmm.
them assholes, man. Man, you got some of them asshole, man, some of them asshole workers. They don't give a damn. I mean,
Nah,
just like he said, they don't give a damn. And
man, I go at it with them all the time when I go over there. Not in a bad way, but just to tell them like, yo, bro, like, you telling you're not get your stuff straight. Like you saying all of this, but you don't even look at forms. You don't look at nothing. Where you getting your information from? I be shutting them down a lot, man, because they don't look up nothing. They just in there because it's a job, so they feel like, all right, I'm just gonna do this. But when you catch them out there, they be like, oh, I didn't know that. How? But you again, you
And a lot of them ain't no gamers. They've been there
exactly.
for a job, and that's why I don't give them
Mm-hmm.
my money. GameStop ain't saw my money in about 3-4 years now. And
shit,
when they
they
did
saw
was
my
get it, they was getting it over shark cards. When I was getting to my son, and
Mm-hmm.
and and that's before before Amazon went digital. When Amazon said they go digital on cards, on shark cards, and Xbox Live and all that, their
Mm-hmm.
business was done. You know,
yeah,
they was done with me. I don't buy no games. I had one dude come in when I did buy shark cards. He was like, "Oh yeah, man." Uh, First, he tried to check me about me buying shark cards for my son and why he's lied. I let him play Grand Theft Auto. I said, "Ain't none of your business." He know right from wrong. I know what the
hell
game is.
yeah,
I'm not dumb. I said, I have a YouTube channel. You want to check it out? You know what I'm saying? I said, you know what
Yo,
I'm saying? So then he said, so I said, he's like, you don't want to buy this game? You don't want, because the kids had that special card, I guess. You buy so much stuff and something like that.
Yeah,
So I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, cool, cool,
I
cool.
remember that.
So I said, all right, cool. You can get a little card. So then he said, yeah. He said, he's like, man, you don't want to you don't want to pre-order this guy? I said, man, I pre-order for Xbox or Amazon. He said, what? We got digital codes too. But I said, I'd rather give them my money than y'all because y'all full of shit. And he was like, huh? He
also,
said, why? He said, why is that? So his manager come out like, why you guys, why you? He said, I heard I heard you was a YouTuber and all this. I said, yeah. He said, well, why you think us? Because I said, think you full of shit. I said before
Mm-hmm.
because I said y'all all I said over here at the Fox Hill Mall, the other little game spot a couple years ago when I said when the Wii U came out, and I ended up buying. This is the craziest thing. I ended up buying. I forgot what I bought, but it was some RM rated, but that's because I didn't want to overweight on it. And then I bought the Wii U. I bought Mario Kart, and I bought the joystick. I bought a big old bundle. So I was about to spend about a good $400-$500. Dude gonna ask
Mm-hmm.
me what my ID, and I said, I don't got no ID. It's in the car. I didn't think I need the ID to pay games. Well, it's our policy for this. And I said, I don't look grown to you. I know. I thank you for knowing saying I look a little handsome. But you see, I got this little big son over here. I'm his daddy. You won't sell me a game? You won't sell me a confidence? I said, you know what? Put all that shit back. He was like, what? I said, I'm gonna go right down it. I'm gonna go right down the hall to Best Buy. They'll take my money.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah. Yo, Dakota Vodka said, "Who believes Tuck sold a damn PS3? I don't." Yo, he
Hey,
taking shots at you, Tuck.
hey, believe it or not, I didn't say that many of them some bitches.
That shows you that Tuck is a bias.
But I
He's
wasn't.
that
But,
person.
but I
He-
wasn't about to turn around and I mean, when it comes down to me, my job, that's a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I understand that and I respect that. But also, guys, I just want to let you know, man. You know, since I brought up little Timmy and his grandmother. Why is it that the media ain't attacking Sony and bashing Sony like they were bashing Microsoft a couple of months ago, talking about the Xbox Scarlet and I forgot the code name to the Xbox Series X at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there was like little Timmy and his grandmother. It's not good to have two SKUs. It's gonna confuse people when they go buy an Xbox. But now that Sony just revealed their new console and show the discless one. Now discless, guys, is popular. Now it's good. Everybody had jokes on Microsoft. Y'all don't remember that? The media with Microsoft without a disc and digital. Nobody liked digital. I don't get it, guys. Why the media's sucking it up right now and they're not bashing Sony for it. I don't hear it's the end of the world or nothing like that. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Well, they're going to be confused too, aren't they?
Sure enough, I would think little Timmy and his grandmother would be confused too.
Like they said about Microsoft,
Yes, I don't get it. Sega Man, it puzzles me that Microsoft got bashed for this and Sony gets away with it. It don't make sense. I don't get it.
They always get a pass, man.
I don't. That's the thing. Like, how? Like, I really don't get how in the hell does that company get away with murder? Like, come on. They had a show that they just showed. I gave it a 7. That was kind of poo poo.
Yeah.
They show nothing. Ain't show nothing but the highlight of that show. Basically, was Horizon Zero Dawn. That was the highlight. That's That's not their new IP, but the second game coming out. You understand, for the next gen? Okay, but what did they really show? Nothing but remasters that they was trying to remaster and get you and take your money.
Yep, and bug snacks.
Bug snacks, you right. Shout outs to everybody. Freddie Fox, Lawrence Gilmore, Other Zinc, Crimson's, Dakota Vodka for showing up. Shout outs to all y'all in the comment section, guys. But I'm gonna tell you like this. Me and Sega Man are talking right now, and he just brought up Bug Snacks. But you know what I'm trying to say is they show games like Bug Snacks. They show games like Volcano. They show games that I'm not interested in getting a PS4 for that. You know, like I wanted to see something new, something different, new IPs, not new cartoony IPs. This is like crazy, and I didn't understand how the media didn't bash them. You know, when we had, how can I explain it? Sea of Thieves, we got Super Lucky Tales. They try to bash it, but I would pick Super Lucky Tales out of any PlayStation new, supposedly using the new SSD over any game that was on that show.
I know, man.
To go, so I'm gonna get them on this. The PlayStation Nation,
Cartoony game. I'm not
I
talking
already
about
put their asses on notice. After Buzz Snacks, after what's that other bullshit? Sock Boy. This is the Sock Boy and all that. You're not allowed to talk about Sea of Thieves. You're not allowed to talk about State of Decay. You're not allowed to talk about
And they
Record. You're not talking about Super Lucky Tales. That's over. You guys showed nothing but a bunch of cartoonish games. I was playing Grounded this week, and You was getting us
Oh, they
about
had
bug
jokes on
snatch.
Grounded too.
You was talking about bugs. Looks like you playing Grounded. I said, okay, yeah, I'm playing Grounded. Grounded is feel like more of a dope type of game. Just because I'm playing as a kid, don't mean that I am gonna get killed, that I'm not gonna die, or none of that. I was enjoying Grounded. Grounded is not for everyone. If you're not into crafting anything, you ain't into using. You don't need somebody to hold your hand every 5 minutes. Use your mind. It's not for
If you're
you.
not into
But
using your brain.
yeah. So, and you know what I'm saying. You don't want to see some little girls all up all up in your video games half naked. That's not for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But they were talking about you like Grounded, but I'm like Grounded did something like I wasn't expecting to Grounded what I thought. I'm thinking like okay, I thought Grounded was like a little really a hack and slash. I didn't really get into Grounded. Like I'm like okay, so when I got it, I'm like okay, I get to download it. Let me play this, and I played it, and then I said okay, I played it for first time for 30 minutes, and I put it down, and then when I got a chance to play it at night, I played it.
I
And
didn't
then
play it.
in live where I start talking, and then we're talking about crafting things. I ended up getting so good. I didn't. It took me 20 minutes to beat the whole demo because I got so good at crafting the weapon. I knew where to go get this. I knew this about that. Stay away from the ant forms. Stay away from that
Mm-hmm.
wolf spider because you ain't got nothing for that wolf spider. You know, it like somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's to me it's unique. It's like yeah, you can see the world. You can see it's how can I say you see that you in the yard, but you can see the buildings. But it makes it where they kind of play like an eye trick on you. Like you're small, I see it, but I'm not big enough to actually use my eyes to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that's a door over there, but I can't see. It's like make you focus on that where you at. Like you see the outside world, but it's making you focus like you actually in this bubble. And how did you get here? Because you're thinking it's a video game. You're like, this is a game or something. You woke up thought it was a game, and then found out this is real. But it's their narrative was like, where's the dope, the graphic based, graphically demanding games? I ain't see no game that they have that uses that super fast SSD drive. I saw
None of
nothing.
it. Nothing.
I saw zero to make use of the SSD drive. Um, a lot of them was third party games that they showed.
Yes.
And a lot of third party games are coming on Xbox. You try to make it like Resident Evil was exclusive. No, it's not. I'm glad Microsoft came out and
Third
see. Think
party.
about it. Microsoft been throwing jabs. You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
They just been sitting there throwing jabs like a boxer. They've been throwing jabs. Might hit you with an overhand right for a little bit to keep you off of them every now and then. But they just been jabbing and jabbing. And especially when Sony's been announce something, they'll jab right back at them, and they'll be nice with it. Oh, wonderful friends over there at Sony. I don't have to say my wonderful friends at Sony. Them bitch ass, punk ass motherfuckers over there at Sony, you know what I'm saying, that likes to hit you with the smoke and mirrors. I'm cool. If you want them games that's not graphically demanding, that's games that's coming out in 2023 that they showing you.
Mm-hmm.
They're back over there buying exclusive third parties for a couple of months. Because one of them games I think from Ubisoft or something is only exclusive for 5 months. Why would you buy a? That's mean they don't have no games. They have nothing ready. When the Last of Us got leaked,
That was it.
that hurt them because they wanted to make that. That was going to make that was something that you could buy and make you want to buy a PlayStation 5.
And they also was going to make and Bond. They also was going to make. They was going to make Ghost of Tsushima it too.
They probably was, but it is what it is. But they didn't have nothing. They didn't have nothing because what they thought they had. They didn't have nothing in the first of this generation. They were
Listen,
just doing. Remember, they had nothing but indies.
Tuck. I'm gonna keep it real like this. Sega man, Tuck.
Yeah.
100.
Yes.
I don't know if he bought left or what else, but if he bought can hear me, he bought. Since 2016, they showed Last of Us Part 2. I think Ghost of Tsushima. What else they showed? The game with Kojima. His game. What was the Death Stranding, right? And there was one more with the biker. Could you believe they showed that in 2017? The same 4 games. Could you believe they showed that again? The same how you say it in 2018, the same games. Could you
Mhm.
believe that those 4 games that they showed were the games that they say they won E3s? If you really look at it, how can you win 3 E3s in a row if you showed the same 4 games? This is why
Yeah.
I said, and I made a video a while back. Soon as I seen 2018, they showed that. I said it clearly that Sony bust their load. They have no games to show. Those were their big hitters. The Last of Us that's out, that's coming out, and Ghost of Tsushima is their big hitters. They have nothing. Microsoft did the best thing, and that was being smart and buying studios. They were smart. They were smarter than Sony, and they made the right moves. So right now, coming in July, they might show our IPs. That's what we're waiting for. Something new. Hopefully, it's not cartoony games. You understand? And they start showing more mature games and better games that they utilize the power of the console. Because if they show kiddie games, guys, I'm gonna keep it real. The media is gonna tear them up. The media is gonna eat them all up. Because right now, Sony's event, they did not show nothing that was mind blowing. They didn't show nothing of the SSD, and yeah, people gonna say, "Oh man, you seen the Ratchet and Clank," you know. And when you
Yep.
look at it, I seen that been done already in Titanfall, and in Halo. Let's go back. Halo was doing that. When you switch it to the old ways of the game, how it looked, and when you switch within seconds, in matter of seconds, bro, blink of an eye, you playing the new way how it looks. Microsoft been doing this. And people are going crazy over what PlayStation's trying to do, and that's the only thing that they have. They don't have really nothing to show that was mind blowing. Like I said, only Horizon Zero Dawn. Everything else is like they're trying to get into everybody's pockets all over again. Which I'm waiting to see them bring um Last of Us Part 2 again. Supposedly the greatest game ever made. It's gonna be the decade. They're gonna probably put that for the PlayStation 5 and Ghost of Tsushima to try to keep people thinking like this console's worth buying. And in all reality, it's not worth buying.
Well,
Because bro, they
well, you
old.
know what?
All those
You
old.
know what? Those guys keep on sleep dreaming and all that stuff all they want to. Um, I mean, basically, but you just preached it right there. They don't have a damn thing coming. I'm over here trying to have guys at my damn job say, "Oh, you need to get a PS5." I said, "PS5 for what? For what? They don't have
Mm-hmm.
nothing." I said, "You got like a lot of kitty games." Oh, the first thing you say, "Well, they didn't sold over 100 million." I said, "You think I give a damn?" I said, and then they gonna always mention up. They gonna always mention up the narrative. Oh, Xbox only sold 49 million. I said, dude. I said, here we've been sitting at 49 million for the last 3 years. I said, you for real? I said, dude. Man, I just told this one kid, I'm through talking to you. I'm done. I'm not talking about it no more. And I said, get a life.
Yeah.
And I wiped my hands clean of it today.
You see, Tuck, right now, you got to talk to them about what's coming up. See, right now, we got an event. Microsoft showed in their game, they showed third-party games, but they also showed IPs that are for Xbox. And that show, they showed IPs that we're going to have. We got about like 5. I think maybe 5 IPs I could think of. We got 2 coming from Ninja Theory. Project Mira, and we got Hellblade 2. That's 2 of them. They showed the other ones in their show. They showed oh my lord, I'm trying to think right now. Guys, help me out here.
Um,
Well, out of their third parties, Medium and Scorn is exclusive.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to
yeah.
tell you. Microsoft showed
So they
exclusives. PlayStation didn't really do that. They showed like third-party games, but what did they really show? And this is what I'm trying to say. All I'm saying is this: Microsoft showed us IPs that we already have. So when they make their list and they try to throw these whack remasters in our face, we already got new IPs coming. Plus, July they're gonna show us our real IPs coming from First Studios. From our first studio. So that's dope. Microsoft is starting off letting us know this generation what we're gonna have sneak peeks on what we're gonna get. Sony didn't do that. So that's a check on Microsoft's side. PlayStation didn't even give dates, so they don't really got nothing but cartoony games coming out, and that's what that greatness is. Their greatness is their slogan is right. Greatness awaits, and these idiots are gonna eat it all up. That controller is all right. It looks okay. It's not the greatest thing, but that console, come on, guys, like
Man, that
it's
controller is garbage
ginormous,
to
man.
me.
That console is huge.
Horrible.
But they're
Like
trying to sell you. They're trying to sell you that thing. Well, you don't need to. You don't need to have a headset and it's going and a speaker. I'm like, how you gonna do that if you far away? You know, you're gonna need some headsets. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna? How you gonna play a game close to your mouth?
amen to that, my brother. And remember, guys, Microsoft was getting bashed for the Connect.
Mhm. And you showed the camera. You showed a Logitech camera.
Yeah, and they showing a camera. So is it safe for us to say that Japan is spying on us? Like, what's going on here? They were saying that the American government was spying on us, but they'll get an eye. I don't get that. So you letting the Japanese spy on you? I don't get it. So you're helping the Japanese government spy on Americans? I don't get that. Like, the logic and the goalpost is always going to be getting changed, and we got to stop that, because I'm not going to go another generation with these dudes using PlayStation 4 games as ammunition when it's going into the next generation, man. We got to keep
But they ain't gonna buy them anyway. So
Nope.
I told them. I put a challenge.
Go
I put a
game
challenge.
flying.
I said I would. I said if y'all can get Ghost of Tsushima between 20. I mean, between 15 and 20, I would not talk about PlayStation for 2 months.
You know that ain't gonna happen.
I said y'all get up to, if y'all get up to 20, if y'all get to 15, because y'all got 100 million consoles, y'all claim y'all buy these games. So Ghost of Tsushima, because I already said they're not going to buy it. So they talk about these games that they do not buy. They didn't buy Noonie Cooney. You know what I'm saying? The order didn't do that good. What happened to Detroit? Detroit went so good, developer said, we done with Sony. All my stuff is multi-plat from now on. And Detroit was a good game.
See,
They didn't go support it, but they threw that in your face. See, they love to throw these games. They don't support these games. These games ain't flying off the shelf. These games ain't top the NPD. Would they want to use the NPD? But they got all this game. When Nier Automata was exclusive to that time. And no, they didn't go out there and buy it. And then when the Xbox people found out, they sit there and they supported it. Now where it's at? Game Pass. And I still ain't downloaded it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Game Pass. You know, they want to talk about services. All this. You renting games. How can I rent them when it's on my hard drive? How can I rent an exclusive? You know, for a small fee. But y'all have PlayStation Now, and y'all thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. But realize streaming ain't. You know what I'm saying? Your streaming services ain't shit.
That's why they had to come to Microsoft.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got xCloud, and I play xCloud several times. I play xCloud several times a week now. I've been playing Batman on it, Arkham Knight on it. Yeah, it still got legacy, but it gets better since the beginning of I've been playing xCloud since the beginning. Since the beginning of xCloud to now, I could say it's about 25 to 30% better than when I first played it when it first started.
What games you got on there, 100?
You got a bunch of them. It's just like Game Pass. You just pick the game. So you can play Halo. You can play mostly every Xbox exclusive. Tales of Vesperia. It's a bunch of games. There's some games that's not in Game Pass. You can play what do you call that? Ace Combat, Tekken 7, Soul Calibur, the new Soul Calibur. It's a bunch of different genre of games you can play on there. And like I say, I'm playing it off my phone. So when you talk
Gears
about
on
that,
there too.
Yeah, you can play Gears. But I just tell people like, yeah, I'm streaming it from my phone. But like my man Flip Money say, where's their new infrastructure, inline infrastructure going on? They're going on Microsoft servers. They're going on to the Azure servers because they found out that they can't do it on their own.
Yeah.
And Microsoft knew it was in that PlayStation already. And people say, how do you know? Because if you want me to help you, I want to give you a foundation. You need to tell me because you know what I'm saying? You're my customer now, so you're using my services. So I need to see what you have,
Yeah.
so I can help you.
Yep.
That's common sense.
That's common sense right there.
So yeah, so if that's just like if I'm a cable satellite provider, I need to know what type of cable box you have. Do you got what type of internet do you have? Do you have both? I need to know. Let me go check up your account. I need to see before I can help, because you can't do it on your own. And then what's called to set them, you know what I'm saying? Amazon, well, you know, Microsoft said, I'm gonna help you. Because you know what I'm saying? Let's go sleep with the enemy. They had to go sleep with the enemy. They had no choice, because Amazon was gonna hit them over the head. And Microsoft said, yeah, we help you. But the thing about it is, Microsoft is only give you a foundation. It's for them to build their own house. I can tell you how to help you try to build it when you ask for help. But at the end of the day, they're gonna have to build that house.
I mean, they need to put the exclusives day and date. That's
They're not going to do. Sony's not doing that. Sony's not doing smart delivery. Sony's is only going to be. Sony said it's up to the developer if they want to do that. You know, Sony wants to package that game like they do Spider. They want to package Spider-Man again for a holiday bundle. That was their MO.
Yeah, that's the MO.
They want to repackage the game, and they want to say this is the truly super remaster, the lottie this and this and this and that.
They are smoke and mirrors, the master smoke and mirrors, the remastered PlayStation. They the remaster station, smoke and mirror station, the bundle masters. That just put it this way, man. They're gonna rape them this holiday and this generation coming up. That it's gonna be sad, and you're gonna have these fanboys out there on Twitter going crazy like anything that Sony does is greatness. When I'm gonna be honest, it's not true. It's that people need to wake up and look at what's going on here. The American company is trying to give you more bang for your buck.
Hey, Ghost, I'll tell you right now. They can go and believe all they want to believe, and they can go and buy that PS Pizza 5 bullshit all they want, and I really don't care. So let them go and do what they got to do. Because at the end of the doggone day, we're going to have the best system out there. Yes. By far, the best system out there by far.
And we're going to have more at launch.
All the new IPs that they coming out with, and like I told my friend today, I told him straight up. I said, listen here, Microsoft did not go out there and buy 14 brand new studios for no damn reason. They gonna counteract with it. Whatever Sony gonna counteract with, Microsoft is gonna bite them in the ass.
That's what I was touching up on with the studios being bought by Microsoft.
They're gonna bite them right there behind.
Time. You gotta understand this, guys, and y'all probably gonna agree with me or maybe not. For y'all out there listening in, when Microsoft bought these studios, Microsoft a while back they had said Microsoft had gave up on this generation. Yes. They knew they lost. There wasn't no catching up at a certain time. But guess what? They made the right moves. That's what people fail to realize. When Microsoft was talking to the gamers and asking people for information and stuff like that, they did their homework. So now they know what the people want. Sony, on the other hand, was too high. They was feeling themselves. Microsoft stated they wasn't going to get caught with their pants down. I guess Sony got caught this time around with their pants down. You got to understand that last generation, Microsoft launched with a lot of games. A lot of games at launch. Sony didn't really have nothing. This
Godzilla.
Yeah, but going into when both consoles launched, Microsoft had the upper hand, gave out more games. PlayStation didn't. They got the games late. Through the media. This is the thing. Microsoft has to get the media basically off its back.
That's not going to never happen. That's not going to happen.
You see,
it's not going to happen. And I'm going to tell you this, Ghost. Microsoft didn't say, "Oh, we lost." Microsoft didn't care if Phil came and said, "We're not in competition with Sony." They don't care what Sony does. They're looking at their revenue. It's just us, it's the fanboy talking about, oh, they lost over there. They didn't lose nothing because they made more. They made way more money than Sony.
I know.
Yeah. Xbox way more. Xbox division. Xbox division is in the top 25 in the world. This is the Xbox division in the world. That's just the Xbox division. Sony and Nintendo don't even come in the top 100.
I know.
But you don't hear the media talk about that. And I had found that like in an article, and I made it, say people, you're lying. You're lying. So, post the article and then see it like this person found out like, yeah, Xbox on its own, because Xbox makes money because people buy stuff out of their services. They buy digital games. They watch movies. They sign up for their services. People don't do that on Sony. You know what I'm saying? You got over 10 million, and you got over 100 million PlayStations out there. It's not even it's only 10 million, 2 point some million of PlayStation now. Well, you got 10 million, over 10, maybe 15 million on Game Pass now. Who won?
Mm-hmm. Game
Yeah.
Pass.
Who won right there? So like I said, Microsoft sitting there like, we don't count consoles. They already know you don't make money off of consoles. You make money off of software. How many billion-dollar franchises do Sony has? One. Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo's the only one.
So when they start throwing them numbers at you, this is Gears doing do charge. Well, Gear fail or Halo fail and all this other fail. Them are billion-dollar franchises that you're talking about. Where your billion down? I don't see Uncharted. I don't see The Last of Us. I don't see Ratchet and Clank. It's billion-dollar franchises. But y'all want to throw that in people's face. Oh, it outsold this or this Metacritic score and all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, that doesn't work that way. It don't work. I said, I don't know if whatever y'all getting your information on, that's not business 101. If I see 100 million consoles out there and only hit 5 million,
that's a failure.
That I won't invest in it. And then you got people say, well, that's not a failure. That's great. No, it's not when you have so many consoles out there. So you want to sell your services. You want to sell PlayStation Plus and all that other stuff. Why is more people on Xbox Live that's supposed to have way more less than PlayStation?
Well, hey, Bone, you know what? See, you preaching to the choir, man, and you're doing your job. You're preaching to the choir, but you know what? At the end of the damn day, these Sony ponies gonna still do what they want to do. They're gonna still believe what they want to believe, no matter what. I mean, but the only thing better, all we can do is talk to the real gamers, because the Sony ponies, they're not real gamers. They're often to their own little mind, their own little concept mind, and all that stuff. So, but like you said, that's for the real gamers, and that's it. Sony.
Yeah.
There ain't no how I feel about it. They can all kiss my ass.
Go ahead, Sega Man. Do your thing.
So I got a little theory, y'all. Do you think the PlayStation 5, because of that SSD drive they have in there, is going to be a higher price than the Series X?
It could be, yeah.
Oh man. Honest truth, I think.
How about that, Bone?
Right now, we can just talk about the price on the consoles. What do you think the PlayStation price would be in Xbox? We can do that right now. So
I think you go for you go, Ghost.
I mean, honest truth, I think maybe see, they came out with a discless, and they came out with one with a disc. I'm thinking Sony's looking at maybe 5, maybe 4. I don't know. If they're gonna undercut, and if they can, let's just say they do 300, right, for the discless, just to undercut, and 400 for the disc, just to get Microsoft. Cause now they even now they right above each other. You understand?
They cannot afford to do that because they spend too much on that cooling system. They cannot take that bigger loss.
I'm just saying. Think about it. Them niggas don't care, bruh.
What you mean? They do care because they need to make a profit because none of their other divisions is making profits. PlayStation is.
Yeah.
That's not making a profit when you're losing. You're just not making a profit. You're losing off of that. That's not going to make something because you still don't have nothing that somebody's going to run out there to get. So say if Microsoft comes out and their console is $400.
Okay.
Or their console is $500. You know what I'm saying? You got two SKUs. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the word on the street that I heard was $449. $549, and the other one is $400.
For the Xbox?
for
Whatever.
no for PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Xbox gonna be $500.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's gonna be $500.
I would
yeah.
think.
The Jim Ryan, Jack Ryan, whatever you want to call him, then he should not be put on television again. Um, he, you know what I'm saying? He already said that they might not have the most cheapest console. He
You
already
know
came
what?
out and said that. He said it might possibly. He said we're going for value, not for consumer. He said he's going for value. So,
But think
so
about
when you,
Sony's known for basically line. Once Microsoft get their price, that's what they want. They want Microsoft to say their
but
price
but
so they
but
could
see,
come out
Microsoft
there.
is in the driver's seat because see, Microsoft did something that they had never done before. Microsoft bombed first. They took off first. When the
Yep.
video game awards
Hmm.
happened, boom. You
They,
saw Jeff Keighley pause. Jeff Keighley probably saw that console probably about 20 seconds before because usually them shows is on a 20-second delay. So he probably saw that 20 seconds before we saw it. And you saw his eyes was like, what? We heard something, but he didn't have it. They kept it on hush. Then Microsoft came out a few months later. What? Microsoft come out a few months later and do what?
show that.
They mess around. They showed the specs. Then a few months later, what they do? They grab people to
They let
come into Redmond, go check out the
Digital
console,
Foundry.
pull it out. They grab different
You
media outlets out there, took it, asked questions, showed you the power from if you do have a 360 game. Show you
you
or what's called. They showed it in action. Sony ain't showed you Nathan. They haven't explained if you do use a PlayStation
nada.
4 game. They haven't talked about backwards compatibility. Bill came out. I was listening to this bum, what's the name, Spawn Wave, and he said this. He was like, man, Microsoft needs to come out and say all the peripherals that we have is going to work on the Series X. That was one of the first things they saw. But people listen to you like you all God Almighty, and you don't know that Microsoft came out and said everything that you have. I remember when Phil said this. Phil said, we're not leaving nobody behind. That means you're not new. Your Connect can ride with you. You've got the adapter. Everything can ride with you.
Mm-hmm.
Your games can
We
ride with you.
been said that 100.
So when I saw Spawn Wave say that, I was appalled by. I don't like to listen
It's
to
like
him. I don't like to listen to him,
no,
but I've been
100. You
trying to
know
listen
that
to. I've been trying to
you know
listen
the
to
motherfuckers are
a different.
fake. They don't follow
Yeah,
Xbox.
yeah. So I've been trying to listen
You
to a
know that.
different perspective sometime, and it comes up on my
Mm-hmm.
Twitter feed. So I said, all right,
Hmm.
especially if
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's not like I can't find nobody else to watch. So let me listen to what he say. So then I get mad, and then it provoke me to make a video. So that's why we're using it. So I'm
No,
so
no, no. Those dudes are fake, dude. You know that. They
yeah,
give
so
themselves away.
yeah, so when he sit there and he says certain things, I'm like, how you claim that you're this gamer and you're this tech guy and all this, and you have these sources, and I know
Mm-hmm.
more things than you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so this was the
Mm-hmm.
first time I ever did this in a long. I think I did this like 4 or 5 years. Went into a YouTuber's comment section and set it off.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, I'm appalled. He said, well, Microsoft needs to show a new IP. I said, you know, you can play Grounded right now. If you so much had all these sources, how you should know that? You should be already had it before I had it.
Right. Rounded is a new IP, just like
Right. So he
Ori
talking
2
about
is a new
Microsoft need to
IP.
show a new IP. They already showed the new IP.
What the
They
hell?
showed the new IPs at the third party event that's already
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exclusive.
you're right about that.
So
Mm-hmm.
what did you come to when I was listening to
Sony
him?
needs to stop showing remasters.
Yeah. So when I was
Exactly.
listening to these
Mm-hmm.
guys, I wish that's why I said I wish I could see these guys face to face. And then I realized these guys don't go to E3. These guys, I don't know how they even have any subscribers. Cause I be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
who's listening to this? Who is
Yeah.
listening to
Yeah.
this? And I'm like,
Lot.
I guess
So,
the world is messed up because I couldn't listen to it.
all right,
Because it didn't sometimes I listen to some of them and all right, okay. Like I listened to a couple of guys. They're cool. They cool guys. You know what I'm saying? But they already say, hey, I'm a PlayStation guy. Just like I say, I'm an Xbox guy. I can respect you on that one. At least you came straight up. Don't act like you this inside Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo guy, and this and that, and you go hear from Mitsu and all this other. They try to use these big words to act like they really know what the hell they talking about. And I'm like, nah, I can't do this. And so that's what motivated me. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go in.
What?
Right, right. Well, that's why I
Sega
did the
man. What?
video I did. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ghost.
Yeah, right now we talking about. I'm gonna inform you when you get in. We talking about basically. We basically talking about the price on the PlayStation and the Xbox. That's what we really talking.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah, the leaks, the leaks, the leaks.
Yeah, Sega man. What's your thoughts? Because you have brought it up. I gave mine. Honey just gave his.
I think I'm gonna go with honestly, Ghost. I'm gonna go with 100. I think that the Series X is gonna be $500. I honestly think the PlayStation 5, the disc one. To be honest with you, I think that's gonna be more
Hmm.
than the
Mm,
Series X.
okay.
And I hear people saying that they're not even buying that one. They're gonna buy the digital one.
Because they think it's cheaper. Like
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be cheaper. But and a lot of these guys said I'm gonna buy. These guys
Remember
that's
the
quote unquote
digital
supposed to be.
was garbage. That sad edition was a joke. Remember that?
Yep. Yep.
Microsoft was trying to take people's rights away from their games. All of a
Hmm.
sudden, digital is the new hotness.
I hear them. I hear them on there
That's what I'm
saying that
saying.
yeah, I'm gonna buy the digital PS5. That's all I hear. I don't hear nobody saying they're gonna buy the one with the.
I heard one guy out of all of them said because he said this and that. I just saw guys like you, Sega man, as collectors, right? That's
Yeah.
this like I want the hard copy just in case.
Right.
These guys supposed to be collectors. The first thing they saying, oh, I'm going to grab the I'm going to grab the digital version.
Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right, right,
And
right.
I'm like, don't you always promote physical stuff and the people taking your rights away? I'm like, y'all so big as hypocrites. I swear
Mm-hmm.
it
Mhm.
don't make no sense.
They are 100. Yeah.
But
Um,
it's like people scared to call them out on it.
yeah. So what do you think about it, Hebot?
Well, there's a lot of layers to that question because look,
You bought there?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm here.
right,
Can you
TJ.
guys hear me?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of layers to that question because if you think about it, my logic, right, as a person, as a gamer, and the experience through the years is telling me that
I can't hear he bought.
The Series X will be, you know,
He bought sounds
about
far away. I can't hear him, bro.
I hear like an
that.
echo. Somebody's listening to the podcast.
You hear like an echo?
He heard you far away, and then I was hearing an echo like somebody.
It's probably yeah, it's probably he's somebody's tuning out with if they're listening. But check it out. Um, it's a lot of layers to that question because my logic as a gamer with the experience of the years tells me um, that more than likely is because of the specs, what it's
Ghost.
offering.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can hear you.
I can't. I can't hear he bought at all, man.
You can't hear Hebot.
Yeah, I hear
At
you.
all.
I can hear him.
but I sound far. Is that why?
No. He can't hear you. Sega Man can't hear you, but
Yeah.
we can hear you though.
Okay, I'll just keep talking real quick or whatever.
Second man, just come in and come back in and come back in. Sometimes it
Come in and
seems
come
to do
back
that.
out. Yeah.
Let's see.
It tells me that because of the specs, what it's offering, and all the features, that it's going to be at least 499. And they're saying that the leaks are saying that that if Lockhart is the thing, it's going to be half the price, which means it's more than likely a digital version. Which me and 100 said this from before. If the Lockhart is real, it's going to be the Series X digital, right? Because the SAT edition did well for them, right?
I can hear him now.
I seen the
And
sad edition in Best Buys. You right?
right, it did well for Xbox. They said it. So even
Y'all
Matt
hear me?
Piscop, yeah,
Yep.
we hear you. Even
All right.
Matt Piscopella from the MPDs came out and said it that it was a hit. It was a surprise hit that is selling like crazy. Amazon sold out. Even Walmart sold out. You know what I'm saying? So my logic is telling me, yeah, it'll be 500. But I really, really have I have a really, really, really good suspicion that Microsoft is going to really try to undermine Sony big time this gen because that will be the best way to change the narrative right from the jump. Because you see, they show nothing but multiplats, timed exclusives, right? A DLC and three IPs that are their IPs that are not coming out anywhere anytime near soon, like Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Ratchet, and Gran Turismo 7, right? And all these media outlets, everybody's like, "Oh my God, PS5, PS5, PS5." The narrative is still the perception is that PlayStation is the way, right? Well, we all know
Mm-hmm.
it's the inferior hardware. Right now, we know it's going to be bigger than the PS3. And now everybody's praising. Oh, it makes sense because of the thermals and all the circuitry inside, because they're afraid that it's going to get hot. So, which tells you they couldn't figure out the overheating solution and issues. That's the only way they were able to do it, by making it big, right? So the fan's probably huge inside. Now, when Microsoft did that with the Xbox One OG, we all know they came out and said they did it to compensate because they were afraid they were going to have the same issue that they did with the 360 with the overheating. So they put a
Yeah.
big ass fan, and that's why the OG Xbox One, the original, was so big. And everybody's like, "It looks like a Betamax. That's bullshit. It looks like a
VCR.
VCR. It's crap. It's so ugly. It's
Yeah,
this.
PCR.
It's that." When we were always saying the entire time, man, it don't matter what the console look like, as long as it works, as long as it's silent, and as long as it gives us good experiences. What the fuck do we care what this console look like? That's never been the issue,
Console,
ever,
the console
right?
always.
Ever, ever. But they made it into an issue, so we obviously had to come up and defend and state our piece because we thought it was foolish, and it was. Now, Rich Review Tech, Angry Joe, all these homies that are just worrying about clickbaits, that are nothing but clickbait artists, like he says, Spawn Wave gives himself away every time you listen to these videos. These motherfuckers give themselves away. Because how you a tech guy, like he said, how you in the know, how you have 250 or 500 subscribers, right? 500,000 subscribers. And you didn't know that Phil Spencer said that everything that you have on the Xbox One, every single peripheral, every single accessory is
Mm-hmm.
forward compatible. It's
Yep.
going with you. Nothing is not going to be, even the Connect, if you have the piece, the adapter. He
Yeah.
said it,
That's
right?
sweet.
Controllers, everything.
Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Sony hasn't said not one dime drop yet about if your controllers go with you. If you're gonna, they just introduced a new controller with a C port, which you know the new ones on the PS4 don't have C ports, which is telling you right there off the jump they may not even be compatible. That's why I didn't buy a lot of controllers for Sony, and I love collecting controllers because I'm not going to get a controller. I don't. That's not going to go forward with me. And then I got to buy all new ones for the new console. I'm not doing that. No.
Yep.
That's why I didn't have a problem investing in so many controllers on the Xbox One this gen, because I knew right from the hip when Phil said that we were going to get the ability to take everything with us with all generations. And he didn't say just this one. He says from this point forward, every single console comes out and every single generation is going to be forward compatible. He said that clear as day, years ago, months ago, years ago. You know what I'm saying? But a motherfucker like a Spawn Wave or a Rich Review Tech, no, all these dudes, they don't know that. You see what I'm saying? They have no clue. Like, that shit sound retarded. Come on now. Like,
Yeah,
seriously? And we're the dummies? We're the ones that are hypocrites? You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So now we know we have three generations of consoles going forward. Then we have people trying to downplay smart delivery because Sony already made a statement saying that smart delivery is going to be on a game-to-game basis, depending with them, with their IPs, and with the developers if they choose to do it. When the console already by itself, as they explained with smart delivery, if the developers choose not to, the Microsoft team can come in and do it themselves with the power of the console itself. They're going to implement HDR to games that weren't even built for HDR, better frame rates, better resolutions. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
and people are trying to downplay that. Oh no, that's not what it is. It's what developers do. No, it's not. Go look at the
I'd rather.
IGN Smart Delivery um interview that they did, and go look at Major Nelson's podcast that he did where they talked about smart delivery and explain it
Mm-hmm.
all in that thing. They
Just
break
watch
it
that.
down. They break it down completely in detail. Everything that it is. That it's not even the developers up to them. They can come in and their team can do it and do what they need to do. Microsoft's team, right? Like they're doing with the back compat, right? So I really have a funny suspicion that Microsoft is going to undercut them, and that the Series X, and you guys can mark my words. If I'm wrong, I'll say it. I'm wrong. It's going to be $399, and I really think that Lockhart's going to be
I
happy.
got a feeling about that too, man. I
because
really
I
get that
think they're
deal too.
trying to go right, Tuck. I think they're trying to go in there, no holds bar, to really make Sony look bad. Because if they have the console more expensive with less power, the bigger console, while theirs is small and sleek with less efficiency and performance, while theirs is more efficient and more performance, with better performance and more efficient, right? And plus they have already, right from launch, actual, proprietary IPs, like intellectual properties, their own IPs, multiplats, and third party exclusives like Scorn and Medium and Bright Memory Infinite. That's going to bring a very big positive message to them, alongside the back compat, alongside the Game Pass day one with all their exclusives. Like all the shoes and all the lines are aligned perfectly right now for Microsoft, and that's what I keep telling people. They're going in this time around with Microsoft's support to the Xbox division. It's no longer like it was in the 360 era and even the beginning of this era. They have full on support of Microsoft, the company, for the Xbox division because they saw it makes them money. It brings in that bread, and they're not stupid, right? They want to keep making this money and capitalizing it, right? And they're going to keep buying studios. Imagine they buy that Warner Brothers studios and they're able to capitalize on all these IPs like Mad Max and even Batman, right? Or owning all the DC properties for games, at least. Not for the movies, but for the games that they can make them exclusives as they choose to. Imagine that shit, right?
Yeah,
So,
but no, but it came out. That deal was not for the DC joints.
right, right. No, but I'm saying imagine if that something like that aligned for them, right? That would be good as far as perspective. So I really feel they're going to try to get whatever they can to be as positive and as pro-consumer as possible to undercut and undermine Sony's approach. Because you saw what Sony did. They did their show and showed nothing really. Nothing. What they showed is not ready, a DLC, multiplats, and timed exclusives that are going to be better on the Series X, right? And
Mm-hmm.
people actually took it as, no, these are all for PlayStation. These are exclusives. These are this. These are that. They actually fed in and believed the bullshit, right? So that tells you right there that Sony don't have to do much, and these drones, these blinded folded sheets, they believe anything. If it says Sony, they believe it. They don't even stop to think. Well, wait a second. What the fuck? Like I was saying before, if that Spider-Man shit was really a standalone game from day one, you would have seen the featurette right after the show on their channel. No. 3 days later, they did the freaking video. It's not up. It's not up on the PlayStation channel. It's not up on the Insomniac channel. On YouTube, it's not up on Marvel's channel. It's just random. You look it up, comes up on YouTube, the video, because they didn't even upload it yet to those channels because it was just done one, two, three. Two guys talking the whole time. And the first thing they say, yeah, we're letting you know it's a standalone game. It's a standalone game. He tried to emphasize that like 4 times in that featurette. Why? Because they saw the backlash. People were like, yo, what the fuck? You gonna make me buy a remaster and have the DLC expansion game locked to that remaster, even though I already own the game? Because they didn't even announce if that DLC expansion, to make matters worse, is gonna be on PS4 or PS4 Pro. So all those 100 million people that have their console supposedly, right, quote unquote, fuck yeah, y'all gotta buy a new console just to play our DLC. Imagine that shit. Imagine Microsoft doing some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? And then we gotta talk about pricing, because are they gonna price it for $40, 30, or they're gonna do like they did with The Last of Us remaster, that it was $50. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, there's a lot of layers to that question. But my answer, honest opinion, I think the PS5 is gonna be $600, the one with the disc. I think the one that's digital is going to be probably like 450 or 500 because they had to spend more money. The hardware's a lot bigger. They didn't have the ability to to sell it for cheaper because they don't have the kind of money that like Microsoft to sell it that low. And Microsoft probably going to make it embarrassing undercut to them just to fuck with them and put the console for 399. But my logic of an experienced gamer tells me that yes, the Series X more than likely will be like the Xbox One X. It'll be 500. That's my logic as a gamer. But my suspicion of what I'm seeing, the back and forth, I think it might be. It's a possible, plausible thing that'll be 399 goes.
That would be crazy, man.
Oh yeah, imagine.
Those will
That's
fly off the shelves.
you're not gonna get more consumer friendly that with the most powerful console, new IPs day one, back Game Pass. Imagine, think about all that stuff.
All right.
They'll make so much money. It's not even funny if that shit happens.
All right. So we all got it. We're gonna go down the line like this.
Mhm.
For the Xbox, Sega Man, you got the price on the Xbox. How much?
I'm gonna go with 500.
500. 100. You got
Yeah,
it. What?
$500.
Tuck. What you got it? Tuck's not here. He bought. You got it at 400.
Yeah, I think they're gonna
I'm
do it
running.
as an undercut.
I'm
As an
running with
undercut.
500. I'm running with 500.
Okay.
Okay. On the
All right.
PlayStation side, for the PlayStation discless, how much you think is that running for? Sega Man,
Much.
what you think that's gonna run for?
What?
The discless PlayStation 4. 5, I mean.
I think the discless one will be. I'm gonna say 400.
400? And the
Yeah.
disc,
I'm gonna go with he bought. Honestly, man, I think that thing's gonna be 599.
599 on that one. What about you, 100?
Discless, 449. The one with the disc is 549.
Oh shit. And as for me, I think, oh yeah. I went down on prices on both. I ain't gonna lie. But y'all all giving me making me think now. All right. I'm gonna go 399 for the discless, and I'm gonna go 500 for the disc. That's my honest opinion. All right, guys. I also want to bring up this. What do y'all think about PlayStation? And let's be honest here. You see how we going into next generation, and I
Mhm.
know I'm probably gonna get flanked for this, and they're gonna harass me. And I'm not saying that the Xbox, the PlayStation 5 is not powerful. Yes, it got 9.2 or 9.3 T flops, and they're doing their game. Supposedly, it's gonna do 4K 30 frames per second. But what makes me bug out is right now, me and Hebot, we talked about this a while back, a couple of days ago. Me and Hebot talked a while ago. We talk the Xbox X right now has given us games doing 4K 60 and 4K 30. So right now the PlayStation's really doing 4K 30. If they trying to hit 4K 30, our X is doing that right now.
Yeah,
That's embarrassing.
the One X beats the
The
PS5.
One X is giving the PS5 a little run, standing up there, holding its own. Because if Sony's using the PlayStation 5 and putting out 4K 30 in their games and trying to hit that 30 frames per second, our X is doing that right now. And it shit. What do you guys think about
That's
that? Man?
embarrassing.
That's
That's
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
It really is. I can't believe it, guys. Like it's
And let me ask you this: how many more teraflops is the PS5 gonna have more than the
9.
X?
the X is what?
It's two
12.
times it's 2 times more powerful than the X.
Okay, so that's all, huh? So that's all they can do, huh?
Well, it's two.
Okay.
We talking about the graphics card on the
So,
graphics card.
yeah, we just
Right.
talked about the graphics card.
Yeah. The CPU is like 10 times powerful than the CPU.
It's stronger. Don't get me wrong. Nobody, and for your PlayStation fanboys and guys that like to twist it up, your PC dudes, I'm not saying that it's stronger than the PS5. What
It
I'm
can hold
saying is
on.
the PS5 is supposedly doing the 4K 30, and our X is doing that right now. So when we do get the Xbox Series X, I think that bad boy gonna really push like 120 frames,
Well,
60 frames,
Yeah.
4K. You know, like certain
Well,
games gonna
well,
really do a lot.
Scorn already said they're going 4K native, 60 frames per second. That's why they picked. That's why
That's
they
a
picked
beautiful
Microsoft.
thing.
Yes.
You're gonna see Xbox games. See, this is my thing. My argument is, I don't expect the third parties to push it like that. You know, when somebody told me Gran Turismo only going to run 60 frames per second, I call bullshit. if a third party game called Dirt can run 120 on the X, on the S, I mean on Series X, come on now, you got to have something. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it's crazy to me. But my thing is your first party. Your first party, Microsoft first parties always shine because what they run better because they know that about their architect. They didn't have the console board before everybody. So you're trying to tell me, certain games cannot run at 4K 60. You know what I'm saying? That's the smoke and mirrors. Just like when you got the Pro. The Pro was just a little bit more. You got 1440p, 30
2K.
frames per second. It wasn't true 4K. You know what I'm saying? You got some games you're gonna use
Checkerboard.
dynamic and all that other stuff. When Microsoft used it, it was a bad thing. Oh no, it's a great thing. Oh, why? Like my man Vodka said, all of a sudden, 30 frames per second is a wonderful thing. Oh, you can't tell. I can tell. How you can? I can tell, especially in my play first party shooters. I can tell. I can tell. I can say when. I can go tell when Halo. If I go play the original Halo Anniversary, you can tell the how he move, and then I go play the Halo Master Chief Collection. You can see how he move very very fast. It's like it's the twitching, and you can move up and down, and the triggers. It's like It's like you're bobbing your own head yourself, like you in the first person mode.
Yeah.
It's my thing is it's up to them. I want to see a game because when I asked the PlayStation, they should give me a game that's on the PlayStation 4 Pro that runs native 4K 60. They gave me a bunch of third parties. I said from Sony, wasn't that what is it? PlayStation Game Studios now?
Yep.
Give
Yeah.
me a game that
Trying to be
runs
like
that.
Xbox.
You know what I'm saying? Why is The Last of Us not running at 4K 60 on the Pro or 1440p on the Pro? If Gears of War can run 4K 60 on the Xbox One X, why that can't do it? They
Because they
kind of
didn't
virtually
have that
damn
much
near the same
juice.
game.
I don't think they had that much juice in that console to do that, or maybe they did.
No, it's somebody. This thing about it is, it's people. It's the developer and it's people that's taking time. And Microsoft is not rushing their developers.
Definitely.
They're not rushing the developers. Where a lot of Sony will rush the developer
Yeah.
or get it out.
I just it just baffles me. It just baffles me that people don't see this. Like where Microsoft is going to give us the way stronger console. We're getting more IPs as exclusive for us. Right now, they showed you a game doing 120 frames a second. Dirt. They showing you that this console is going to be a beast. But now that really, really, guys, the greatness PlayStation is just starting to hit the greatness. They really getting 4K now. That's the really, really they are how you say it? We've been here already. You understand? We already know what 4K is. They're gonna get the experience. Finally, they enter the building. But what baffles me is that the X right now, man, is doing 4K 60 and 4K 30. So I'm
Yep.
saying, I'm gonna be honest with you. This Series X, everything from here on should be like 60 frames per second, man. Like they shouldn't be no 30 frames per second games. I'm being
Well, like I
honest
said,
with
like my man 108 said, open world games like Grand Theft Auto, them big giant worlds, yeah, you're gonna use they're gonna be because the PC is not pushing that 60. When you go play Grand Theft Auto 5 and you try to play in 4K 60, it'll break it.
you.
It'll break it. So some of them open world games, like them big giant open world games, like The Witcher and all that, you're gonna see
Oh,
them. You're gonna see them at 30. You're gonna see them at 30 frames.
hello, hello,
Yeah,
Yeah,
hello. You guys can hear me?
yeah,
yeah.
we can hear you.
Oh, but I was trying to. So I'm sorry, honey. You were talking. Go ahead. Finish
I'm
saying.
back, y'all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but them games,
You were talking about
them big old giant open world games gonna run at 30. But they should hit NATO 4K.
the they look. There will be open world games too, 60 frames for 4K. It all depends on how deep in the details they get. You got to stay within parameters. If they make it retarded big, no, obviously. Like something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey that's too
Hello,
big for no reason. You know what I mean? That's like retarded big.
Ghost. You hear
That
me?
Yeah, I can hear you, my buddy.
that might not
Who's
be
talking?
Heba.
is that might
I
not
can't hear
be
him. I'm gonna try to leave and come back.
All
that
right.
might not be 4K 60, but it also depends on developers keeping within parameters. But remember that these are DNA twos, man. These are brand new chipsets that were never they're not even available on PC yet. So we don't know what they're capable of doing, especially in the way that Microsoft built the Series X. They got a dedicated chip just for ray tracing, so it's going to alleviate all the work off the CPU and the GPU. Plus, they got a dedicated chip for the surround sound, the 4K surround sound. So that also alleviates the work from the CPU and the GPU. So all that stuff comes into play. So we're not going to really know until somebody really deep dives into a development and game trying to push it to its limits, what it can actually do. But I think that it's a possibility that we will see those open world games with a 40 with a 4K 60, depending how big the game is, how much detail, how much characters in there. You know what I mean? Like depending how big it is, I think it's possible. If they go way too big, then yeah, it definitely ain't gonna keep doing the 30, or it's gonna have some hiccups because it's demanding. For anything open world is demanding because it keeps trying to load it all in real time as you're playing the game all the time consistently. It's trying to load up the assets, load up the assets. So it makes it very hard to maintain that. But you see that we got 1080p 60 with Horizon on the X. You see what I'm trying to say? That's why I say that if it's a doable open world, that it's not overly big, it's not far fetched to think that a 4K 60 will be possible because the X is nowhere near as powerful as the Series X. And it did it with Horizon. You see what I'm trying to say? Now, am I saying that Hunter is wrong? No, he's not. I just think it really depends on the developer. If they go retarded big, because that's the other problem. Once you get so much power, now they're like, let's go bigger. When bigger doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make the game better because it's bigger open world. You know what I'm trying
Hey,
to say?
That's
They
true.
it all depends on the developer's parameter, because that's another thing. Because I'd rather
we
have
got
games that feel a little bit open but more linear, so that you can have more boss battles, so that you can have segments where you can ride on vehicles, horses, have horse battles, and things like that, like different things, different gameplay variety. Like kind of like the way they did with Nier Automata, but with way better graphics and way better story. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That they gave you a bunch of different, gameplay styles in certain segments that felt almost like levels in certain areas, but it was an open world map. That's what I think they should start to concentrate and focus more on because when you do it too open, that's why you see less boss battles, you see less gameplay variety. It's more of a fetch quest than anything else, and it becomes too slow paced. It becomes boring, and you get tired of that shit. You know what I mean? And it becomes boring and tedious and monotonous too fast and too much, in my opinion. But then again, it's not only for me, obviously. Open world games is for whoever really likes it, but that's why I don't really dig them like that. Like Sunset. Sunset was open world, but it's not huge. It was a nice size. They had the two DLCs that opened it up a little bit more, and it was like really good size, like really nice size. And that's what made it so appealing because it didn't overstay its welcome, but yeah, it was still open world and it felt fun and it felt like a nice big, like that universe or that world of Sunset was felt dope. It felt like like it was big enough that you bought into the idea that it was its own place. You know what I'm saying? And you had boss battles. You had different gameplay mechanics, which made it awesome. And that's why I think it
hmm
worked so well. That's why I think it works so well, and that's why I think that's what most open world games should go on forward with this generation instead of making it, like I said, retarded big and then it's too demanding or far fetched, and that's when you start having problems with the frame rate and what type of resolution, because that's where the sacrifice issues come in. Because it's like that on PC, because a lot of PC dudes we try to be like, oh yeah, I run my shit at 250 frames, but they try to make it seem like they got it at ultra high settings, HDR, Dolby Atmos, 4K sound, and in 4K native, and that's a bunch of bullshit because it's not true. They don't. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They can sit there and say they do, but they don't. You running something at 240, you're sacrificing something, whether it's lighting, shading, anti-aliasing,
Um,
um, all the little features they give you to tweak up the graphics. They're sacrificing something, native resolution, whatever. The testillation. There's no way in hell they're gonna run that shit. Anything out right now at 240 full-fledged high fucking fidelity graphics with HDR, ray tracing, all the bells and whistles, and run that shit at 240 frames. That's bullshit. There's nobody doing that shit at no PC. That you're a fucking liar if you're saying that. And
So
100 knows I'm right. He knows I'm not. He can back me up on that.
so what do you think about the series, the Xbox X we have right now that's doing in certain games, majority of the games doing like 4K 30 and then 4K 60 compared
Mhm.
to the PlayStation doing their 4K 30.
Well, again,
Crazy.
it comes to the parameter goes because there are games on the PS4 Pro, and it's way less powerful than the X that actually achieved 4K. Okay, which is Spider-Man, for example. Spider-Man is native 4K in 30 frames. Okay, on the Pro, but again, Spider-Man's map is not retarded big. It's within parameters. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
And what they do is they give you these little places where you go under the sewer, it transitions, and then it's like a level to make it feel more of a vast open world. And it also feels linear. But that's how you get away with that. And you could achieve higher res and higher native resolution and even frame rates. The same thing with Gran Turismo. Their Gran Turismo was 4K 160 frames. But when you compare it to Forza, what happened with the Gran Turismo? They only have like 125 cars. Forza has like damn near 700 cars. The tracks and the levels, they have way less tracks, and they have fake tracks that are not based on real world. As opposed to Forza, all the tracks are real world tracks. All the cars are modeled from scratch. Okay, in the new Forza, they even have models still that they use from the PS3 and PS2 era, and they just made it look more modern, meaning they
Yeah.
use the same model render. You see what I'm trying to say? Plus, you had
Hmm.
things like the what's it called when you look at the cars in Forza and you look at them, the museum. What's that called? Forza Hut, whatever the hell it's called. Where you look at the cars and they talk about it, and you can open it up, go inside, get out of it. They had all that for
Forza
all the
Hut.
cars.
Gallery.
Yeah, the gallery. You had that. You had all the online modes. You know what I'm saying? You had being able to play cooperatively. 23 cars on screen as opposed to the Gran Turismo only has like 12. You see what I'm trying to say? The damage in the cars in Gran Turismo, the damage is not even extensive like that. It's minimal. You know what I mean? In some cases, it's just scratches. So it was like Drive Club. It looked way higher fidelity in graphics, but it had only like 90 cars. So the more you put into the game, the more it's going to take away from the resources of the graphics and the CPU and the GPU. So it's still able, the game's still being able to run 4K native 60 with all those cars and all that detail, all those modes and all those different features in the game is a technical feat in itself, right? That's why they also use the cloud for some of the things they did. You understand? But when you compare it next to Gran Turismo, so then Gran Turismo have maybe better lighting reflections, or maybe space reflections may look a little bit better, but it's because they have way less content in the game. You see what I'm saying? And that's how they were able to achieve the 4K 60 because they put way less content in the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people don't fail to understand, and they fail to bring up, and they try to put it to the side. It's almost like the PC gamer mentality that they'll say, "Yeah, I'm running that shit at 250 frames per second," and then they'll be like, "Yeah, but how high is your graphical fidelity? You have it on ultra high? No, I have it in medium rare. What resolution you running? Oh, 1440. Oh, I thought you were running 4K." You see what I'm trying to say? They don't give you the details and the specifications. And that's where the dumb shit comes in. Because if you really are logical and smart about what you're saying and know your stuff, no gaming, no PC, no tech, and you are a gamer, like Hunter said with Spawnwave, for example, that dude, you should know all this shit. And you should be clear about it and clear to your audience and let them know. But instead, they don't do that. They sell you the bullshit. So, yes, there have been games in the Pro that have been 4K native 30, 4K native 60, but it's because they stayed within parameters. Understand?
Yeah.
Because a game like Forza Horizon 4 and 3 are way more extensive and way more detailed, way more content than Gran Turismo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The same way like a game like Witcher is way bigger
yeah.
than Spider-Man. You see what I'm trying to say? And
Yeah.
Witcher, they ran that shit 1080p 60 on the X with
Yeah.
HDR. With HDR.
So
Okay? So
so
for me, I have a feeling that we will see games on the Series X, open world, 4K 60 native. I think we will. But if they get too big and ridiculous, like 100 said, because he's not wrong either, that shit's gonna fuck it up. It's gonna smack it, and they're not gonna achieve it. They gotta stay within parameters. The developers, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, and you get too big, and you go too wide in the spectrum, that's when you start having issues with performance, resolution, ray tracing, special effects, all that stuff. And it's going to be like that forever. It don't matter how powerful consoles get, because the more power they get, oh yeah, let's make it bigger.
yeah. Sega man, what do you got to say?
Man, that. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he butts right about that. I think some of them will be able to achieve 4K 60 frames per second. Like he said, if it stays in the parameters, I think the Series X will definitely be able to do that. But like 100 said too, I mean, if it's like huge, like I don't know about like Grand Theft Auto, no, I don't think it would be able to do that. But I think what Hebot is trying to say, I believe he's right about that. I think some of those games you're going to see that are big, that are going to achieve 4K 60 frames per second.
Like the last of us, right now. The last of us, the last of us is running 1440p now.
What I was asking though, it was this: our console now that we have now is doing
The One X.
yes,
Yeah.
and their Pro is starting to do the same thing that our regular console is doing. That's the thing I brought up.
But they Pro is not doing that. The Pro is not
No,
doing
not the
native
Pro.
4K.
I'm talking about our console compared to their PS5.
5, yeah.
Yeah, but see,
That's
that's
what I
trying to
was
tell
talking
you
about.
that. That's trying to tell you that who has the better developers, who's sitting there
That's
taking their
that
time.
was my what I was trying to say. The PS, I know that I'm just saying that the X we know is more powerful, is going to do way better. But for a console that's out already, that's giving us that right now, they are just going to do that. You understand what I'm trying to say? They're
Yeah,
doing that
yeah.
now.
Real
Hey,
quick,
They're going to
real
start.
quick. Fuck the
hey, the
goddamn
thing about it
ponies
is,
that keep cutting me off.
if they can make it, they're gonna do it. If they can't, they're not.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna do it. I mean, they're
Also,
not gonna risk. They're not
Hey, I
gonna
don't want to
risk.
get in your way, but I was going to ask you for a little bit of a
also,
peek.
I would like to touch up on the last topic. What do you think
Mm.
about The Last of Us 2?
What do you mean?
Woo!
Which part?
Wow. I mean, oh man, Neil Drunkman, man. I got a text and I got shown something that was like, whoa.
It's all on Twitter.
I tell you, man.
Yeah, just like all over Twitter.
Man, like, don't get me wrong. Like, what is wrong with this guy, man? Like, they don't show not even video games like that. They don't show nothing like that. And you showing a tranny. Neil Drunkman showing a tranny getting rocked. Face expressions. And that's not even a female. It's a
No,
man.
that's a female.
No, it's
That's a man. That's a
with
man
the chest.
I think that's Ellie. That's Ellie girlfriend.
No, it's not.
Wow.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Nah,
it's a
I thought
friend.
that was
Abby's
Ellie
the
girlfriend.
tranny.
I'm gonna show you the pictures on it.
I see the
Crazy.
picture, but I thought somebody just messed it up.
Mm-mm. It's a
Oh,
friend on
no.
friend. It's dick riding on dick riding. It's friend on friend.
Are you serious?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
I
This
thought
is
that
Yes,
what
was.
I'm
sir.
saying.
I
Like,
thought
how do Sony even let that go out? That's how desperate they are. Like to me, I'm being honest. Like, wow, they don't even really show that too much with video games. Period. You got kids that probably play that, bro. Like you brainwashing kids. That
But
is
dude,
not.
they're the one that sensitized
Shit,
DMT5.
Microsoft do something like that, they'd be thrown to the wolves.
Microsoft got in trouble for showing smoking cigarettes or anything like that. Microsoft did a show. Check this out. did a live show or
Got
whatever,
criticized. Yeah, yeah,
criticized females with bathing suits before.
yeah,
This,
yeah.
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
they showing basically it's a man getting poked in his ass. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest here, a video game wise.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta enjoy that. That's greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Come
Well, I
on, bro.
mean,
And then I heard, is it true that Neil
Shit,
Druckmann's in
that's
the game
weirdness.
and he's doing the butt plugging? Like, what's
yeah,
going
the
on here?
character that
Is that a fantasy in his
is
head?
it's supposed to be
Might
based
be.
off him. A character
Like,
looks like him supposedly, and somebody showed the side by side, and so I'm like,
Them dudes,
wow,
man.
like that
it's
is
wild.
sick in the head. He just if that's I'm not supporting that man on nothing he do. That's it.
Well, people
I'm
said
not
damage
buying
control in the
shit.
game,
I'm
though.
not
I'm
buying. I don't
sorry.
care what game come out. I'm not
Look,
buying
look,
shit that man is
look.
making.
I'm gonna say one thing about it. There's a guy in here, right, in the community.
Man, I know one
that-
thing. I wouldn't want my kid playing no shit like that, man.
Hell no, man.
There's
That's
a
it.
guy. There's a guy in the community I really appreciate a lot. He's really good. He's cool people. He doesn't do that dumb shit. He works hard, and I'm really fond of him. But he said something so stupid in his review that I was like, oh my freaking god. He had the nerve to say that the game's acting is beyond anything that you've seen in the movies, performance from actors in the last decade, which let me know he don't watch movies because he is so wrong, and it's messed up because people are gonna sit here and listen to him, and he sounds so bad saying that because he's so wrong on that case. And yet he said that in his review. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Like, it's bad, bro. Like, I don't like people are more worried about that Sony keeps on sending stuff and that they get stuff when you instead of you buying it yourself, because a lot of these dudes that are bigger could afford it, right? And they're more worried about getting it free and not being genuine 100% and trying to go around it and trying to damage control it and the best they can without hurting or offending nobody. Like, just be honest, dude. If they don't like it, they don't have to send me shit. I'll buy it myself.
Yeah.
So what? And if I don't like it, I'll sell it. If I don't like it,
Bruh,
it's not like
I
I'm
ain't
gonna
never
lose
seen that in
money.
my life. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10,
Yeah, yeah,
5,
yeah.
5. That's
That's because they want to
unbelievable.
do Game of the Years because it has that all that agenda stuff, the
Yeah,
woke
all that
community, the
agenda and all that.
LGBT stuff.
I
That's
don't
why
care
they
about the
want it to
LBG stuff,
win.
bro. I
But
don't know
that's what
where
they
they get the
want. That's the
detail
one. Remember, he's a
anything. Like,
supporter.
get out of here.
He's a supporter of Anita Sarkeesian. He's a supporter of her. This was the man that was in front trying to make it seem like Cortana was being sexualized, but she's a hologram, a digital hologram. Okay, she's not even a real character. And he put that up there in his presentation with Anita Sarkeesian kissing her ass. You see what I'm saying? He's just trying to get all that community on their side. Like, oh my God, all these dogs, they're so wonderful. Look, they care about us. Look, when a person can tell me what a sexual preference or sexual identity does for a gameplay experience as far as fun factor or the gameplay, or even the story for that matter, because we've seen that before, but it's done more classy, more respectful, because they kept everybody in the gaming industry, thinking about, well, what about a person that's religious plays this, they don't like that, or a person doesn't believe in this. They did it respectfully, like we said before. Games like Skyrim, games like Fable, games like Mass Effect, and even games like what it was, Life is Strange, right? Where they don't really force feed it down your goddamn throat, right? And that's what makes it a problem, that you can't pick it or choose it. It's force fed down your goddamn throat. You like it? If you don't, oh well, too bad. The commercial they did on their channel, on the PlayStation channel that I put up, with the girl that has a cooking channel, I think it is. She's gay, right? Or bisexual, whatever she identifies herself as, or homosexual, whatever. Because I'm not trying to offend nobody, because I don't care what your sexual preference is. I don't care. I don't hate on nobody because of that. That's
Exactly,
stupid.
bro. I don't really care.
But she came out and said, "I never played any games in my life, ever, 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 ever. When I played Last of Us, the first time I played a video game, and it changed my life forever. Oh my God, this game is fantastic. I took my days off in my schedule. I fixed everything. This is gonna the days I have ready to take off and play Last of Us 2. This shows you the kind of audience. Yeah, it's in their PlayStation channel. This shows you the kind of audience that's targeted for this game. So you're gonna tell me I'm supposed to take the opinion of people that never played games before just because the game caters to their preferred sexuality or preferred beliefs, right? Or lifestyle, that I'm supposed to take that seriously when they say, "Oh my God, it's a masterpiece"? No, because it has no place in games. It really doesn't. It doesn't add to the experience. It doesn't add to the gameplay, fun factor, which is the most important, in no way, shape, or form. Now, if you want to keep inclusivity and equality, that's fine.
Yeah.
You let the person pick the color that they want to be and the gender they want to be in the beginning of the game. You let the person pick if they want to be a woman, a man, a hermaphrodite, whatever, in the beginning of the game. You let the person pick if they're going to be gay, straight, married, not married. If they're gonna have kids, or they're in the beginning of the game, and then that character will be called whatever the game you wanted to be called, and you play the fucking game. Fine, that's fine, no problem. Like they gave us the choice in Gears 5 of who was going to get killed, right? Based on your preferences and your beliefs and who should die and who shouldn't die, or just to give you a different perspective. That is how it should be implemented in every video game. There's no excuses. Because if that's the case, then sorry. I want to see more fat guys that are protagonists in games that look like me, that are chubby, fat, heavyweights, whatever. I want to see more Puerto Ricans, okay? You don't see Puerto Rican representation, okay? I want to see more Chinese dudes, more Indians as main protagonists. Because if we want to play that game of equality with the women or sexual preference, then we're going to go there. I want to see more Christians, more games talking about people that believe in God trying to fight demons, like Constantine.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see diversity from all sides, not just from the LGBT, from the woke, or from the gay community, homosexual, whatever the fuck it is. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that's BS.
That
This is gaming. Gaming is not for you to live the same bullshit that you live in everyday living, and the same shit that we deal with in everyday living, to bring it into gaming. It's supposed to be a form of escapism, to enjoy yourself, to play games. That's why we enjoy games like an Alex Kidd or a Sonic or a Mario Brothers, because it was fun. It was something that eluded your mind to think about an imagination, an imaginary world, and you had fun with it. Now,
come here.
I want it to be.
Don't go out that front door.
I want to play a game so we can talk about the racial equality.
Don't go through that front door.
I want to play a game because it's a girl protagonist and she has to be gay and like another woman. Like, come on, man.
What I to say? Out the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the more we let this keep happening and we don't say nothing about it as a whole, as a gaming community, it's going to get worse and it's going to get out of control. And then we're going to be the ones that are at fault ourselves because we didn't open our mouths and fight for the right of what's right. They have every right to make their vision and their game however they want. And no, I don't care if Ellie's gay. That's not the point. The point is I don't want to see Ellie eating a girl out in the game if it's not going to add to the fucking experience. I don't care about that. Same way I don't want to see two transsexuals.
Exactly, bro.
Banging each other. And I found it offensive when Trevor in Grand Theft Auto 5 was butt fucking a chick in the kitchen. Okay? I found that offensive. I didn't like it. I thought it was stupid. Even though it was heterosexuals, right? People that were straight, right? I found it offensive. I thought it was unnecessary. It didn't need to be there. But the reason why it was there because it was trying to say that he's white trash. But I still didn't like it. You think I'm gonna change my opinion because it's a girl, it's different, and because it's catering to the woke community? No, I still feel the same way.
Think about it. What Grand Theft Auto was, that's meant to be funny.
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
That is supposed to be serious, and
I know that.
But
I'm talking about from me to 100. For me as a gamer, I didn't appreciate it because I felt.
Well, that's just like what you call it.
But I know that it was funny.
Mafia 3 has a scene that you cannot skip.
Yeah.
That you cannot skip. But the thing about it is what Mafia 3 is, they did not force that down your throat. You know what I'm saying? You just happen to come up into the game and say, you happen to come in and see, oh shit. Like, oh damn, what?
Yeah. It was supposed to be a funny moment.
When they showed The Last of Us, they zoomed in on Ellie and old girl.
Right. It was the whole story is concentrating on their love story. That's what the whole story is about. You see what I'm saying? Concentrating on mainly her love story and how it all plays out, right? And with those people, right, in that group, which I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil it. But anyway, when you, like you said, you're absolutely right. When you saw it even in what's the game? The first person shooter that's crazy as hell. Oh my God, the one with the lady, old lady that's like Nazis, neo-Nazis.
Oh,
and the new one. You saw when when old boy was having sex with the fat chick inside the pod. They walk in on them. and it's supposed to be funny. It's the black dude with the fat white girl,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be funny. But it's like a second thing, and they don't show you the act. It's like, oh snap, and that, you know what I'm trying to. It's supposed to be funny. It's meant to be satire, funny, right? To be funny, right? But in these games, the whole narrative and main plot point is supposed to be the connection that you see that these girls have and how they're so connected and why it reflects in the story, and that she gets kidnapped and then you got to go after her, but they don't kill her. You know what I'm trying to say? The whole main premise of the story is a relationship. That's the difference. It's shoehorned down your fucking throat. And that's where I have a problem with it.
Bro, it's supposed to
You
be
know
a
what I mean?
zombie apocalypse. What's
Yes,
going on here?
it's supposed to be an action zombie apocalypse survivor game. Meaning it's a general public game for everyone, for anyone to play, with mature content. You know, obviously maturity in it, but maturity doesn't mean that you have to put sexual preferences, religious things. Because if it was a problem having religion in Far Cry, right, with the dictator guy, with that white dude,
With the
that was
father.
a problem. With the father, why is it not a problem seeing two trans going at it? You see what I'm trying to say? That's hypocrisy. How can a game get 10 out of 10 when it has a broken story that is not consistent and doesn't keep respect to the main characters, right? That doesn't have great controls. You saw the video I sent you that is buggy as hell. Ellie's missing an arm
Yeah,
and
missing
doing
arms and
something
all
to
that.
have
I
a
see that.
guard.
That's
Right? You
everywhere,
see
bro.
bugs in the game
Yep.
already. You see that the game,
They got
they're
10.
saying it's very slow pace, right? They're very slow pace. They said that you know, and that what else was this they fucking said? And that the story wasn't really a good story, right? Basically, because it goes in different directions that shouldn't be, or that feel unnecessary. They feel purpose or deliberate and shouldn't be there.
It's supposed to be a
So
zombie
that automatic,
apocalypse.
and then the fact that they don't have co-op, even though you still do segments in the game where you're with the girl with that Chinese Asian dude, right? So you can't play co-op in the campaign, and it has no multiplayer component yet. Oh, we'll bring it in the future, right? Like they did before, bullshit, right? And you're gonna tell me that's a 10 out of 10? Come on now. If you don't see the agenda right there in your
The
face, you're
agenda is
stupid.
biased. It's
You're
been biased,
stupid.
bro.
They're
Every
stupid if you don't
PlayStation
believe
game
that
getting
shit.
good scores. And the funny thing is, you seeing people saying that the game is all messed up, this and that, and still giving it a 10. Like,
Yeah.
what? I can't believe that. Like, what is going on here? I think I know why. Because that gay agenda shit. That is some bullshit. And if you gay and you doing that, that is fake. That is fucking fake. Like,
It's
be
just
real with yourself, man.
just and be honest. Just be like, look, this was, like I said, that commercial says why and who they're intended for, and that's why they've been saying the whole time. Oh, it's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be for this. It's going to be for that. So then you can't sell it, because even them saying that it's not a game for everybody doesn't give it the right to be a 10 out of 10 game. A 10 out of 10 game is something that everybody could play and everybody can enjoy. Okay?
Right.
And if you can't, and it's only a certain type of people that can enjoy it, automatically you're segregating the audience.
Yeah, it's
You know what I'm saying?
yo, it's full of shit, bro. When I tell you,
You're segregating the audience. I'm sorry. That shit is not no 10 out of 10. You could think whatever maybe for you personally could be 10 out of 10, but in reality, if you use common sense and logic, that's not a 10 out of 10.
that game ain't no 10
You
out
know
of 10.
what?
It's got bugs already. A lot.
I'm surprised they let Sony get away with that though. They don't need to get Sony get away with that.
I don't know
man.
how the media ain't, I don't know how the media ain't talking about him boning a transgender, bro. I don't know how this ain't coming
Well,
up.
they not think about it. They don't want to get on Sony bad side.
I don't
Because they
understand
just
that.
weren't them.
Like,
Yeah,
They don't want
tell
to
them
get on
100.
Sony bad
Tell
side
them 100.
because
Tell them.
Sony.
and had
Tell
a
them
game
100.
like that, they would have.
Tell them 100. I
Yeah,
know where 100's going. 100,
yeah.
tell them. Tell them.
They
I
don't
know
want.
exactly where he's going.
They don't want to get on because they want them review copies. They want they want the perk. I mean, they want the subscribers. They want the clicks. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's what they want instead of just being
Being honest.
just being real. Like I saw
Mhm.
some guys. I don't agree with everything they say, but when the Last of Us Leaks came out, they just talked about it. They
Yeah.
didn't show no video, no nothing.
Yeah.
Their channels got flagged.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I seen
They were gonna get wiped out. They were about to get wiped out.
Yeah, I seen a
But
lot of stuff on that.
they were about to get wiped out. But now you got but now they coming out and they talking about it, but they scared to talk about it to a certain extent because they scared of that strike. They scared of Sony
Mhm.
striking. I actually talked about it. I said I double dog Sony to strike me.
I talked
Right,
about
right.
it too.
You know what I'm saying? I think, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's wrong for them. It's like Sony can do wrong, just like Microsoft can do wrong. Just like I said, if Microsoft come out with a lock card, I want to talk shit about it.
Mommy.
I'm gonna be
Because
honest
there's
with
no
you.
use for it.
The order 1886 when they came out and when it got blown up that it was only like 4 hours or something. They was talking about not giving out reviews to nobody. If you
Yeah,
bash the game or give it a low
yeah,
score.
yeah.
No.
And I'm like, how the media and nobody ain't talking about this? That they're strong arming people. If Microsoft would have did that, it would have been all over.
Oh
See, the whole
yeah,
point, the whole
definitely.
point of having reviews from different people is so that you get the honest review from different perspectives, right? That's the whole point of it. But it's become to a point. I think that's why old boy, like 100 likes to say, old boy Adam Sessler. That's why he left because supposedly he was doing a review for Assassin's Creed Unity, right, when it first was coming out. And
Yeah.
they were telling him you can't do these certain things, you can't say these certain things. And he said that he didn't like the direction that the gaming media was going or the way they were doing with reviews. And he left. That's why he said he
Yep,
left.
they got him, and they got him for talking about how he liked the Xbox One over the
Yes,
PlayStation.
over the
Oh
PlayStation.
He
yeah,
got ripped.
I
Now
remember
and then
that.
they start sitting there threatening his wife and him and all that, and he's like, I don't need this.
Mm-mm. He left. He's like he didn't like the direction that gaming was going. He said it in the beginning of this gen, and he was saying that Forza was nice game, that it was fantastic, that he even said Rise was a good ass game. He said it, and because he was going and coinciding more with the side of Xbox, they started doing certain things towards him, like 100 said, and he didn't feel comfortable, and he bounced. That's why he left.
That's crazy.
And he was at an
That's
independent
crazy.
at that time. He was at Rev 3, so that's independent. That's like an
Yes,
independent, like Fun
yeah,
House and
you're
all the rest
hundred
of them.
percent right, 100.
So
He
it
was at
wasn't like
Rev
he was
3.
under any pressure. He was giving.
Yes.
And if one of the guys that was under him at Rev 3, that's I forgot his name, he's over there at IGN. When he was at
Yep.
Rev 3, he kept it a buck. He kept it straight down the middle.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
he done turned full pony. I can't think of
Yes.
his name.
I know exactly who
He's
you're
the
talking
one that
about.
used to do the comic books and all that at
Yes.
Rev 3
I
and all
know
that stuff.
exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. He turned full pony with
Mm-hmm.
what you call it?
Brian O'Tano?
We're going. Me and Brian O'Tano got into it a couple of weeks
Stupid
ago.
ass Brian O'Tano. That
You know what I'm
motherfucker.
saying? I
He's
went
so
straight on
corny.
IGN, and he's talking about how you're gonna do this, and I'm like, man, you know better than me. You just another talking shit YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't go to school for I said I ain't go to school to be no
But
journalist.
Joan
I don't have no
Journalist, right.
credentials. I can say what the hell I do. I said I thought journalists has some type of journalist style that you don't
Parameters. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that you try to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. The best of your ability. You don't do that.
Some integrity,
said,
my dude. Some integrity. Like for
And he was
real.
like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna
This,
be
this and that.
honest.
I'm not into the fanboy. I said this ain't got nothing to do with fanboy.
Yeah, yeah. That's what they do every time when you call them out. Oh, you just being a fanboy. And
And-
you're not a
and-
fanboy when you suck on Nintendo when they're not doing shit but
Yeah.
giving you the same games from Wii U. Get the fuck out of here.
So when I explained to him,
Yeah.
I said, how I'm a fanboy. I said, why don't you go down the middle? This is not a great. This is what this. They didn't show this. They didn't show that. Breaking it down. It got to a point where he couldn't say nothing. He just said, you know what, man? You have a nice day. I said, yeah, you have a nice motherfucking day too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
They're
think
full
about
of
it is
shit.
they don't want. And think about it is, I probably got blocked. He couldn't block me if he did.
Oh, he
I
been
didn't
blocking
care.
on Twitter. He been
No,
blocking.
we in the comment section. We're in IGN comment section off the video he made. We going back to back.
That's funny. No, he blocked me on Twitter. Big
Then
time.
why I don't even talk to them. I'm blocked by a bunch of them on Twitter, and I never talk to them.
Right, right. Because they know, honey, they
know
hold that we bring that
you're gonna
that
bring
we
it up.
bring
to
in,
them,
we
right? Why
bring
you're
that
not-
controversy content and they get mad.
Why you're not bringing it up towards Sony? Why you're not doing this? And you know what? And I'm glad that when we was in the room with the person and that head person was telling us about the X that we have now, and what I respect about him is what he said. They know, Microsoft knows that the media is biased. Microsoft knows that
Mm-hmm.
that they don't get a fair shake at Metacritic. They know the games
Oh,
don't
I
get no
remember what you're talking about.
fair
When you
shake.
was, I
Yeah,
remember that. I remember when you told me that.
I
Yeah,
just
I
don't
know.
want to keep bringing it up because I want, I would like to speak to the person again. Like I don't want to mess that up.
Right, right.
But
I
same
got
with
you.
Japanese games. That person
What
had
happened,
told us, and that's why I'm gonna buy the Xbox Series X because the person never lied to me. It was really stronger. You understand? And what I've seen from doing these YouTube things that the media and Sony could do no wrong.
Hunt, when you get a chance, DM me. I gotta ask you something.
They can hit you with master. How you say? They can hit you with all kind of remasters. Won't get. They'll say it's dope. The media, they won't question them about anything about the system heating up. They're not going to question nothing.
Right,
All they're going to do is like Microsoft. Did you see Sony? We all seen that Sony had a all right show. You got to see how they talk about this show. Knowing that this Grand Theft Auto, knowing that these games are remastered, they're going to say Sony had a really good show.
Well, look,
Yep.
It's going to
real
have
quick, Ghost. Let me ask something real quick. Let me ask something to you. What you're saying? They had a good show in the sense that they showed a lot of diversity in their games, right? It's the way they presented their show that they made it seem like that vertical slice, like those were all their games, and that they weren't multiplats, and that they weren't timed exclusives. That's where they sell the BS, and people feed into it, where it's bullshit on their part, and they shouldn't do it, but that's what they do. But the show had diverse games. You know what I'm trying to say? If you know what I mean, like, but in that sense, the show was decent. But the bullshit that they're selling you is where it's like, nah, bro, that shit ain't flying with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they.
What? Hey, let me ask you about what diverse games did they show?
Well, because they had the multiplus, you know, like they showed the Resident Evil that's coming out, the new
Resident
one.
Evil's dope.
They showed Project
dope.
Athia. They showed the new Ratchet. You know, they showed the Sackboy going back to a platform, one of their old. It's diverse in the sense that it had different types of games. It had platformers, shooters, survival horror. You know, the Dark Demon Souls remastered. You know what I'm trying to say, Tuck? I'm not saying that they showed things that were never done before. I'm saying is they showed a lot of different style of games, and they usually normally show just one style of game: single player, heavy narrative driven, super 100-hour CGI cutscene game. They didn't do that this time around. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
And in that sense, they had a better showing than other previous years. You see what I'm saying? And that's why. But they try to sell it like those games weren't multi-plats, half of them, and more than half of them.
Because I said this years ago. They always I said this years ago.
That's the reason why I'm so glad to see Microsoft came out and punched them right there in the mouth. Punched them right in the mouth.
That's why.
Right.
That's why I said it years ago, bro. When you really look at it, Microsoft, how you say it, always saying timed exclusive, and when they come out in E3s, they say time exclusive, letting people know this is going to PlayStation or Nintendo. It's not only for Xbox. PlayStation doesn't do that. They'll say
they try to be somewhat transparent, and people still find a way to complain about it.
And that's why people was thinking that Destiny was exclusive to PlayStation. Mm-hmm. They was doing all kind of things. Japanese games that that's a PlayStation game that was coming out on Xbox that we got now that they wasn't talking about. They wasn't saying that was how you say it, exclusive. You got to understand that company does a lot of foul things, a lot, and they don't keep it real. So a lot of games, people be like, nah, that's a PlayStation 4 game. And you're like, nah, that's going to Xbox 2. What are you talking about?
Yep.
They get a lot of that because they mislead
all the time.
But they smart. It's a strategy to make their money. That's how they get their money off and catch people out there. Oh yeah, you think that PlayStation, how you say it, got those games and it's not coming to Xbox. But at the end of the day, you see what they doing. That's why I felt what Microsoft was doing. Aaron Greenberg filmed them. They was coming out of nowhere. Nah. That's gonna be on Xbox too. So they stopping them from doing that bullshit.
They're doing the right thing.
Yeah, they're not
trying to kill the noise.
Yeah, they cutting off every angle that Sony was doing. They trying to cut it off now.
They're trying to kill the noise. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they doing. A little strategy,
or what you call the false narrative. That's what they're trying to do.
False narrative.
And Aaron Greenberg, he went on there immediately.
Of course,
we saw it. He went on there immediately. Listen,
because the media ain't gonna help.
Congratulations to Sony and to our friends over there. They had a great show. But remember, guys. This game. He named like a couple, right? Like at least 5 or 6. They all going to be on the Xbox as well, and they're going to play best on the world's most powerful console. And you know what I mean? With confidence and with class. You know what I mean? And they need to do that. They need to keep doing that because if not, they're going to try to do the same BS perception shit, like making it seem like, oh no, those games are only on PlayStation or they play better on PlayStation, even though they have the weaker console or even possibly the most expensive console on top of being weaker. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna say like this. It's already 11:30. I gotta go to work. I gotta be in work about like 4 something. I gotta wake up in the morning. I pushed
All
it for
right.
y'all. But yo, guys, man, I had a blast rocking out with y'all. Thank you, everybody in the comment section, for
yes,
whoever's
sir.
gonna watch this later on today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. Whoever watches this podcast right now, I hope you had a good time watching it. I had a blast with Hebot. Sega Man just joined us right now. Thanks,
Yes,
Sega
sir.
Man, for rocking out with us. Actually, I had a
Thank you for
blast.
inviting me, Ghost.
Most likely, hopefully next week you come and rock out with us again, my brother.
I will, my brother.
And Hebot, you basically let them know where they can find you at, bro.
Well, real quick, I wanted to say real quick too is Erock wanted to join us, and I completely wasn't able to get in touch with him because I was in the middle of like in the road.
Yeah,
That's why I had a lot of problems coming in and out. So I want to apologize to my brother on air. I don't want him to think that I, kind of shunned him to the side and forgot because I did it.
Shout out to E-Rock.
Um, that's first of all, and then with me, you guys can find me, on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Hebob Powerful Gamer on Twitter, Instagram, C_respect, and on YouTube, obviously, Hebot8, and that's pretty much, you know, the gist of it for the moment.
Hey Chuck, let them know where they can find you at, my brother.
Everybody can find me here on the Xbox One. It's not hard to find me. I guarantee you that. Um,
Hmm.
but all I gotta say is, hey, we had a good show tonight. We reached a lot of basics of what's going on with these systems, and we ain't talking about the damn ponies. We talking about the real gamers, and that's it. Just get ready to spend your money on the Xbox or that PS5 crap, and that's it. I mean, you can turn around and wait a couple of years for you can turn around and spend your money on that stuff. Cause and everybody said, well, they're gonna have another show. I said, yeah, they're gonna have another show, but when they're gonna have another show, it's gonna be the same blah blah blah. I mean, everybody knows that Sony do not have the developers like they used to. They don't have them. They just don't have a lot of people like they used to have. Um, and it's going to take them time and I don't think they're never, they might not never ever make it back the way they need to make it back. In which at the point I really don't care, but y'all know how I feel about it.
Yep.
But no, I mean, but we had a good show tonight, fellas.
All right, bro.
And, and that's all I got to say about that. So
Sega Man, let them know where they can find you, man.
You can find me on my YouTube channel at SegaMan101. And I want to say, thank you for inviting me on this podcast. Ghost, I hope that we can do more of these podcasts because, we don't do nothing but speak the truth out here, expose the hypocrisy and propaganda out there about stuff that's happening in gaming. You know, speaking the truth with, you, 100, Ebot, and Big Tuck. You know what I mean? We need more. We need more podcasts like this, man. We need people
Yeah,
to really hear what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I hope it grows, Ghost.
yeah,
And good luck with the podcast and your channel, my brother. Thank you.
my brother. It's a blessing to have you with us, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Definitely, Mr. Hunnit, Mr. Keep It a Buck.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah, that's my boy. Hunnit, let them know where they can find you, boy.
Man, you can find me probably at your local bar now to stay open. Your local liquor store, your local
You can
grocery
find him
store.
live 5 times a week on his channel, talking smack about Sony.
Oh. But nah, you can find me anyway. I ain't too hard to find, man. I know. I can find me on the what I'm saying, on the Twitter. I've been talking lately more on the Twitter. Um,
Yeah,
and you can find me, they already know my channel, I'm public enemy number 20. Shit. I was number 1, but I moved down to 20. It's a couple
Well,
other people. He
You can
about still in
find
the top 5. He about
you
still in
can
the top
find
5.
100 giving that work to Christopher Hart. That's where
Oh
you
no,
can
Oh
find you.
oh no, I'm gonna have him give up hope in a minute. I'm gonna put him in there like I put in Mr. Jabari. See,
Oh,
he comes with respect now.
yeah,
So you know, I'm
yeah.
playing with you guys, but no, but glad everybody had a good time, you know, and everybody stay safe.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
Bless all y'all families and everybody.
it's so same to you, puppy.
And
Yeah, definitely,
yeah.
man. Thanks, man. Y'all can find me at everywhere, guys. I'm working hard. I'm home. I'm hanging out with Hebot, hanging out with Sega Man, hanging out with Tuck. Hunter just bounced. It's a blessing, man. You can catch me at my Xbox Series X. You can catch me on Ghost Rider 730. You can catch me on there playing Gears, playing 2K, playing all kind of games that I like, the games that I do like, you understand? But other than that, you can catch me on Mixer and Twitch. I've been on Twitch a lot and Mixer lately, putting up my videos so I could give you all entertaining videos in the background. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this show because But God bless you, man.
God
Be
bless.
safe, Ghost.
Yeah,
Yes,
Be
sir.
safe, guys.
peace, guys.
All right, my brothers.